Speakers TV,
Speakers.
man.
Oh,
it is your boy Shad, man.
It's cool, boy G.
If you are watching, please hit the subscribe button. It's right there. You know what I'm saying? It's free. You know what I'm saying? We ain't charging niggas yet. Just hit the subscribe button, man. You know mine. Also, if you watching on Revolt, check us out there. Carisha got a new episode dropping this week with
Rick Ross.
With Rick Ross. They told us to say that this week, so we're gonna go ahead and say it. They're gonna do their views anyway.
Exactly. Yep.
But today we have, one of Hollywood's finest. Man, I think a lot of us grew up off the classic movie Baby Boy.
Yeah, nice.
Definitely some kin to also another Hollywood superstar who actually won an Academy Award for Jerry Maguire, Cuba Gooding Jr. We have in the building today Omar Gooding. We appreciate you,
Appreciate
man,
you, brother,
for coming to the podcast.
Yeah, bad speakers.
TV.
Bad speakers. Like distortion or like y'all speak poorly? Like what's
Both.
Copy that?
Yeah. Well, it depends on how you look at it.
Yeah.
We speak poorly or we speak good, because some people be like, there's some bad boys.
Yeah.
So we want
bad in a good sense.
Bad
Copy
in a
that.
good
Copy that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just, try to do it a way for people to be like, dang, it makes sense. So when we say something stupid, they can't really hold us.
What did you expect? I'm at home. I see I'm at the right place.
You the first person to get that, man.
Copy that.
You the
Copy
first person to get
Got to
that.
ask questions sometimes.
Definitely, man. We appreciate you, man, coming in today, man. For real. Like, I ain't trying to fan out, man, but we huge fans of yours. My boy right here behind the cameras, actually, if you don't know, Cup behind the cameras today for everybody watching.
Appreciate your Cup.
He been saying we needed to get you on here, man.
Oh, that's what's up.
That's serious.
Okay, we're going to find out why in a minute.
That's serious. Let's start from the beginning, man.
Yeah.
California born, correct?
Yes, sir.
Los Angeles.
What was it like for you growing up in Cali? What was California for you? I know it's a lot of gang activity out there. Did you ever fall into that or anything like that?
Wow, what a great startup question. Every time somebody gives me a question, I always try to answer it fully. So let me know if I get too far off track.
You good, man.
My parents, my mother and father were born in Harlem, raised in the Bronx. My brother and sister, there's a 10-year gap between us. It's my sister, 1 year later to the exact day, my brother Cuba, and then 9 years later, oops, you pregnant again. You know what I'm saying?
So you was an oops baby.
Yeah, I was the oops baby.
Okay. Wow.
And when they were 5 years old, so what happened is they moved to California, and then 5 years later I was born, and that created a gap. Early years I lived in, let's see, it actually started in North Hollywood area, right? My father had a singing career in the 70s, right? So he had a hit song called "Everybody Plays the Fools."
Yeah, main ingredient.
Yeah. Main ingredient, and a couple other songs. None was bigger than that one. That was his number one. Then right around like in the 70s or so, right? He went out to Africa during apartheid, and you weren't supposed to go. Okay. If you was from here, you weren't supposed to. That was a
be over that way.
So when he came back, he got blacklisted, pulled his music off, and he had to start all over. So by the time I was born and I was really getting into it, everybody was like, "Oh, y'all was born, he's rich and all this." Nah, we was on the decline. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he had to kind of start over. So he went back to New York to kind of rebuild his career in the only way he knew how. And it was up to my mother with my sister, my brother, and myself. Left us in California to kind of figure our own way out. So I went through a period where we were actually, once we lost the houses and the cars and shit, because niggas didn't know what to do with money. Right. We went and moved in with my mother's parents, my grandparents.
Your grandparents,
okay. Right? And we were there for a few years until my grandpa said, "Nah, nigga, I got to go. You got to figure something out." You know what I'm saying? And we were homeless for a while. We lived in a car for a while. My brother always had a dream of becoming an actor. So he was always studying. That's just what it was. And it's kind of funny when you have a father who's a famous singer, but your dream is to become an actor. Right. That lets you know that can't nobody sing.
Yeah, okay.
Right. Can't nobody sing. I sing a little bit. Okay, I hit some notes and they be like, "Ah, nigga, you can sing. Like, yeah, nigga, if I got, like, I trained my voice to really do it. Like, my father was singing since he was like 4.
Gotcha.
Like, no bullshit. Like,
gotcha.
he was sneaking in the Apollo to see Jackie Wilson and auditioned in front of him and sung his songs. And 8, 9, his father died at 12 and he sung at his funeral like that. He's been singing his whole life.
So he could hold a note to this day.
Oh, no, it's crazy.
Well,
crazy. My father, my father, right before he passed, he was still hitting the same notes that he was hitting as a youngster. So anyway, it was the homeless thing for a while. For me being young, everything was normal to me. Like I always get that question, what was it like? And I was like, it was just life. It wasn't like, oh wow, this is crazy. Why is everybody looking at me? I was used to it.
Because you were a kid.
Yeah, but yeah, for me, I was a kid, and it was like when we would travel, as I call it, we were on the road. No, that was homeless, nigga. We couldn't pay the bill. We got out. We had a hotel room. Boom. We just skipping around. We stayed at shelters, so forth and so on, until my mom landed a job in the Valley, and then we got our first apartment, and so forth and so on. So for me, again, I was an entertainer. I was in an entertainment family. We sung all the time. Even if it was bad, we'd sing into it. My mom was a prayer warrior who prayed things into existence, which was wild to me because, you know, you hear people say, oh, we're going to get out of here one day. We're going to get out of here one day. No, she would sing it like a mantra and pray every day. We going to get out of here one day. We going to get out of here one day. We're like, oh, yeah, all right, mama. And then it would happen. You know, she said, one day I'm going to get a job at Nordstrom's and get out of here from Broadway. And we would sing that. I'm telling you, she would sing it every day. And then it would happen. She said, one day you're going to get a series. And it would happen. And she prayed these things into existence. But I was, you know, like I said, I was an entertainer kid, like Wild and Crazy Kids. People say, Wild and Crazy Kids, that's crazy. Go Wild and Crazy Kids, the fucking Baby Boy. How the fuck that happened?
Yeah. Right.
Wild and Crazy Kids was me auditioning to get my mother off of her 9-to-5 job and be able to quit and be my full-time manager and me be able to support the family because my brother had moved out, started his own family, you know what I'm saying, 10-year gap. Right. He's 19, 20, and then I think his firstborn, he was like almost 20 years old. You know what I mean? So he's ready to start his whole family. He's out the house. Yeah. I gotta take care of my mom and my sister. Right. You know what I'm saying? So
now, how close you and your sister is?
Oh, thick as thieves.
I'm talking about like how like years wise.
No. So again, it was my sister. 1 year later, my brother. 9 years later, me.
Wow. Oh, yeah, you the youngest.
I'm the baby of the family. There's a 9-year gap. And we also have a half brother named Thomas. And the reason I always say it, side note like that, is my father didn't meet him until my father was in his 20s. He got a woman pregnant. They said, fuck off. They did their own thing. And then at a show, a man walks up to him, hey, I'm your son, grown as hell. And then they started their relationship. So you can imagine how that is to the rest of us. So we're going, damn, nigga, oh, really? It's like that? You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but I just didn't grow up with him. That's all I mean. It's love there, but it's just we didn't grow up together.
So your dad was a Rolling Stone, basically.
Papa was a Rolling. But what happened, like, again, he had, he got a girl pregnant at 16 years old. You know, the family was like, fuck that, kept them separated, and that was that. He met my mother at 19, and then they got married and started having kids and so forth and so on. But he just didn't have any relationship with his son that he didn't even know existed until he was a grown man.
A grown man.
You know what I mean? So, but anyway, so with that being a dynamic between me and my brother and my sister, a lot of it was, it was always entertaining. I think about this. I started acting at 9 years old. 9 years old. Because I went and picked up a script from my brother who was already in the business. He had an agent and all that. And I went in, met the agent, hey, let me pick up the script. Who are you? Oh, I'm Cuba's brother. Oh, what's your name? Oh, yeah, I'm Omar. She's like, this boy speaks clearly. Smiles and shit. You got something. I can see light in you. I would love to put you in some shows and send you on some auditions. I'm like, I don't care. Yeah. I'm going to ask my mom. You know, and then she was like, if you want to. It sent me out on 2 auditions in one day, first time I ever did it, and I booked one of them. Like, what the fuck?
And
it was for McGruff the Crime Dog. It was an educational film.
I remember McGruff.
It was don't say Dare, D-A-R-E.
Yeah.
So that was the bit. I was like, damn, really? I got paid and all that type of shit. Yeah. My first major role I booked was for Webster. Webster was a show back in the day, Manuel.
I remember Webster, Manuel Lewis.
How did you and Webster connect?
I auditioned for the show. And that's what it was. So I auditioned for the show. It's like a bunch of kids in there. Everybody looks the fucking same. I had to figure a way to stand out. And my mom and my sister would take me to all their auditions, and my mom, whatever, when she wasn't working. That's what I'm saying. Me and my sister are close. And she was like, why don't you put a microphone in your jacket with the cord and everything and hide it. And when you walk in at audition, and they say, I ain't go, because the audition was, they were looking for an announcer for an episode
DJ
called,
something, right?
An episode called The Web Touchables, right? Where it was the Untouchables, but it's kids with mustaches and suits on and shit and shooting cream pies at each other and all this type of shit. You know what I mean? So I was the announcer. Welcome to the Sam Club, blah, 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 blah. And every kid's coming in, they memorize the thing, and they're doing, welcome to the Sam Club, da, 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 da. I walk in there and I said, welcome to the sand. And the mic dropped, the cord hit the floor, and I'm like, yeah, I'm moments. And they were just like, oh my God, that was so amazing.
So you kind of stood out.
Yeah, stood out.
Yeah.
And that's the formula that I used auditioning from there forward. So I was the guy that you didn't want to see walking into the audition room. That's just what it was. It's like, you've been on a lot of shows. Yeah, I booked a lot of shows. Because I understand early how to stand out. If you get a role, let's say, they want you to come into the thing and they say, be a nerd. Okay, what does a nerd look like? Glasses, and he's going to the prom. Okay, so he's got glasses, probably a suit, a tie. You walk into the audition room and everybody's got on glasses and a suit and tie.
Right.
First thing you should do, take off them fucking glasses. Take off the tie, unbutton it. Now you're the only one in there without glasses.
You look different.
You look different.
Yeah.
But you play the nerd. Because all niggas ain't nerds. Nerds don't all sound the same. You know what I mean? It's just, and that's just me just saying that. So I'm probably, it's not even PC no more. You can't say nerd. I'm sure they're going to get letters about that. Tell him he ain't supposed to say that shit. But whatever the role is, well, especially when you walk in the room. That's why I like live shit. You walk in, you look at how they all look on shit. Everybody got a hat on? Nope.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Everybody got the
Yeah.
red shirt on. Shit, let me go change real quick and come back real fast. You know what I mean? So it was always finding a way to stand out. And the other thing was, be it an audition or be it any job where you have to interview for, the people that are going to hire you are hiring you on, do we want to be around this person? Are they likable? Are they funny? Are they smart? Are they this? Are they that? So you have to sell yourself at these auditions. You come in, I don't know if you're cracking jokes or, I don't know, bringing somebody flowers or the casting couch. She was fine, but she's fucking, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever it is, that will
help
probably get you the job. You know what I'm saying? So I knew how to be engaging, look people in their eyes, talk to them, crack a joke, that type of thing. When you win that room, you're gonna be successful. So anyway, so with Wild and Crazy, I told you I get along with it. So with Wild and Crazy Kids, I knew what it had to be, and it was just like a sea of kids out there. They didn't say we're looking for a black kid, a white kid, and a blah blah. Nah, they just said we're looking for 3 kids. We don't care if it's 3 guys. It could be 3 girls. It could be whatever the case was. And me, Donnie Jeffcoat, Ned Chavez beat out all of those other kids. It just happened to be a Hispanic girl, a white guy, and a black kid.
That is the one. Was that the one you had the microphone, or was that Webster you had the microphone?
No, Webster was the microphone, and that was, so in order, it was like Webster was my major first role. Then I did a movie with Bill Cosby called Ghost Dads, right? And then I got a series regular role, and the series regular, and a bunch of shit in between. But the Wild and Crazy Kids, a lot of people saw, because that was back in the day when you would watch Nickelodeon. Like, if you're a kid, you're watching Nickelodeon. That was probably the only channel. It was not this many options as we have now. With no Disney, none of that shit. Before all that shit. So with that show, it was me using my common sense of, okay, all I got to do is speak better than the rest of these kids, have more energy than the rest of these kids, smile and make them listen. I got a good fucking smile, use that shit, and just be high energy. So when we did that, we did 3 years of that.
How old was you then?
So I started that when I was 12. Yeah, so I started acting at 9. Like I said, I do roles here and there. Finally got a big role, Webster, boom. And then the next year or two, Ghost Dad, bam. And then I finally got a series regular job. My mom was able to quit.
With Wild and Crazy Kids.
And that's Wild and Crazy Kids. And that ran for 3 years. But we only shot it in the summer. So I never went to private schools, never did no shit like that. I was just regular fucking kid as far as I'm concerned.
What? Okay, real quick. So when you started off at 9. Was you too young because they started you off in Hollywood so early at 9 to even get involved in anything, like gang related anything out there in LA? And also when you got the Wild and Crazy Kids, when you got there at 12, I mean, you said 12, right?
Yep.
When you started doing, why did they cancel that show? Because y'all didn't have bad ratings at all.
Yeah, so
I looked at it today.
Just to answer that, I mean, that just kind of ran its course. That's probably the only show that I can say that I was on that there wasn't like a story or a scandal or this happened or that happened. It just, when we do one season, that was like 25 episodes. So that's 75 episodes. So by the time we got to the 3rd season, that was just it. So I don't remember any conspiracy theory like, oh shit, the ratings are bad. Nickelodeon changed a lot. They talk about those things that happen and blah, blah, blah. You need those stories.
I've seen the documentary.
You know what I mean? And I watched this shit too, and I was like, damn, I don't remember none of them motherfuckers. Because it was all before my time, or after I was on there.
Yeah.
So
y'all needed 25 episodes to be syndicated, basically, right?
You need 100. Back in the day, it was 100 episodes. 100, so that's what happened on the next chapter of my career, which was Hang with Mr. Cooper.
Ah, gotcha.
So I did Wild and Crazy Kids for 3 years, and immediately when it ended, I started Hanging with Mr. Cooper. And this will probably help answer the first question you just asked. So I started hanging with Mr. Cooper now. So 12, 13, 14, right? So 14, 15 years old, I'm just getting into high school.
Yeah, high school.
Now I'm a pretty well-rounded kid. I'm in the San Fernando Valley. We're not in the hood, you know what I mean, per se, because there's just a big divide with that. There's a lot of shit that's going on bad in the Valley, carjackings. They got plenty of gangs in the Valley, but it's not Compton on the other side of the hill. It's not South Central.
Gotcha.
But a lot of my day ones and my cats that I really fuck with are from there. So I'd go. I have a pass. We'd hang out on Crenshaw. We do all that type of stuff. Never, you know, the gang type of shit we did was minor compared to what it could have been if the people around me didn't realize what they stood to lose, what I stood to lose.
Yeah.
They actually understood the assignment. The era I came from was cats who was like, okay, this is the breadwinner and he's generous. I'm like, if I got it, why the fuck would y'all pay? Y'all niggas is working regular jobs, that's fine. But you see this check I just got? And the bill comes, I got that. Because it's nothing. And I'm gonna write it off. Like, why wouldn't I take care of my niggas?
Yeah.
Like, it didn't make sense to me. And they're like, shit, why wouldn't we protect you? You know?
Yeah.
So when shit pop off, I've always been that alpha. So I'm always there for what's up, nigga? Right? But if it doesn't go our way and you have to retaliate, now we gotta go get them niggas. I'm not a part of that.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And
Gotcha.
they knew that. We have to protect. We got this, OG. Like, all right. So when a movie like Baby Boy comes along, you know, and I know I'm jumping way ahead and we still got more to cover. When Baby Boy comes along, it was such a release for me because I was always that guy, but couldn't be that guy because I had something to protect. Where it now becomes, take the glasses off, it now becomes a thing where these kids got it backwards and they feel they have to prove themselves after they've already succeeded.
Gotcha.
And then that's how they slip. What's that?
No, you go.
Okay.
Okay.
So you know, for me, it was such a good release, again, because I always wanted to be that guy. And when I read the script and they said, yeah, man, you the one he called when the little niggas jumped him. And I'm like, what? Some little niggas, I got to walk. Oh, man. And it was, best way I can put it is, the role of Baby Boy itself was me if I took a left instead of a right. If I didn't have shit to lose, then yeah, why? Of course, I was arrested. I was on when I was in hanging with Mr. Cooper. Yeah, I got to tell that story. So when I was on hanging with Mr. Cooper, I was in the car on Thanksgiving with 4 or 5 of my boys. We was going to a club. We pulled up to the club. We hopped out. How much to get in? Whatever. And I was like, oh, we know who you are, but the valet is $50. And I was like, fuck you. This was in the 90s.
Yeah, $50 was a lot.
Right.
Come on now.
Yeah,
I was like, nigga, we park on the street. So I got out the car and I got back in the car and I left. And we went around the corner. I left one of my partners there. He was like, all right, nigga, I'm gonna stay here, whatever. I'm gonna hold the door or some shit, whatever. So we left. We hit a block. And then I noticed a cop car get behind me. And we hit another block. And I looked again. It was another cop car. I was like, this is kind of crazy. Got back to the front of the club and I told my boy, I was like, come on, hop in. And he was about to get in. He looked. He saw all the cop cars lying behind me. He's like, no, I'm good. You go. I'll catch you later. So I closed the door. I drive off. Boom. They light me up. And, driver, throw the keys out the window. Driver, passenger, get out, turn around, boom. Next guy, get out, turn around, boom. Driver, get out, turn around. As soon as I turn around, everybody the place was just packed. It was Thanksgiving night. It was one of the biggest nightclubs on Sunset in Hollywood. And they go crazy like I'm fucking Michael Jackson. It was insane. I'm like, y'all didn't really give a fuck a minute ago, but now that the cops has pulled me over with my hands up, they're like, that's Omar. They throwing bottles and shit, break the cop car window, and they put us in the back and drive us off, and they still didn't tell us what the fuck was going on. Pulled us over and finally was like, where are the guns? I was like, nigga, you should have started with that. The gun right there. What do we go through all this shit for? Right? And I told him where the gun was. I said it was mine. What happened was when I got to the club and hopped out, I had it under the mat. Dumb nigga shit. I didn't have no stash spot. I had no this. I just had the motherfucker under the mat. I'm like, shit, I need what, nigga? I need to be right there. You know what I'm saying? So when I got out, they saw the handle and then called the cops. Punk ass niggas. So some bullshit. Like, nigga. So we get arrested. It was like 3 or 4 of us. And I had more guns in the car. You know what I'm saying? So, the other niggas, they wound up, yeah, that was yours, but we found 3 or 4 more, so we charging all you niggas. And it was one day of hell. Like a lot of people know about this shit, but for one day, this was before TMZ, before social media was crazy, and they could have dragged it out for 30 years. But for one day, it was hanging with Cooper Star, hanging in jail. Right?
Oh, they wrote it up like that.
Oh, they wrote it up, blew it all crazy. I'm telling you, it was only like 24 hours. It was on every fucking news outlet for that day. Then I got a call from Mark Curry, who was the head of the number one on the call sheet. Mark fucking Curry, and was like, "Come to my house." And I pulled up, and he kicked me down with some game, and he saved my fucking career, bro. He saved my career. He said, "Listen, this is what you need to do. You don't go into the set on Monday all just quiet and don't say nothing, and go on about your day. They about to put you out of here. You know what I'm saying? You're done. I think you need to stand up like a man in front of them, tell them what you did, speak from the heart, and we'll see if we can fucking save your job." And that's what I did. And it was amazing because when I walked in, he was exactly right. When I got in, everybody was quiet, looking down, not really saying shit to me. And then right when I said, "Can I say something before we get started?" They perked up like, "Oh, yes. What's he's gonna say something?"
Yeah.
And that meant the world of a difference, man. And I probably hopefully that answered your question along with with the gang activity and shit like that. It wasn't hard to play Baby Boy. It wasn't hard to play Sweet Pea, the character, once I found the character. Once I figured out what John Singleton wanted, right? He called me up.
Oh, wait a minute, before we get there. Before we get there. I'm
about to say, I'm not one of them. Just
did you see the
camera?
Did you see the Cat Williams interview on Club Say?
Yes.
Okay, quick question though for that. Reason why I'm asking you that is he said that Steve Harvey stole Hanging In with Mr. Cooper for the Steve Harvey show. Did you feel like that? Because it did when he said it. When I go back and look at it,
the honesty of it is this: no, I didn't feel that, but I don't know if I was tapped in enough to understand what he meant by that. When I look now, the way he said it, you go, "Damn, that was the same story."
It was, man.
Yeah. I'm a writer. I produce, I direct, I do fucking everything because you have to. You just have to. And when we pitch ideas, we X out things that have been done already, which is not really the culture now. It's weird. They do remakes, they do reboots.
True.
You know how much shit I have? I got so much shit, and it's like they want the theys that green light stuff and that put money in stuff. They want something that they're sure is gonna fucking work. And there was a period in time in the industry where rappers were getting all of the black actors jobs just because they had a following.
That's true.
We had movies starring fucking Ja Rule and shit that could have been starring, Chadwick Boseman or somebody else that could really act at the time, but they were like, "Nah, we're gonna go with this dude." It was just like, God damn. And I remember going, "Nick, I gotta drop a rap album because this shit is getting crazy." I'm like, "Dig, I was in shit.
Yeah.
Some of them rappers was good actors though. Like I think Tupac was a good actor.
Tupac was excellent, but he was he was excellent.
Yeah,
he was excellent. No, I gotta let you ask it. So anyway, I can't just give you shit.
All right.
So yeah, it was interesting to me. That wait, what were we talking about exactly?
Hanging In with Mr. Cooper with the Cat Williams.
Oh, the Cat Williams. Yeah, that's a thing because I'll start talking about something else. Yeah, so I realized that later. I was just like, yeah, okay. So it was kind of interesting to me that they greenlit a show that had the same damn concept of one that was a hit. You know what I mean?
Except on a different channel.
On a different channel. But that's about all I have to say about that.
So rewinding back, do you feel? Did you feel like you had made it by the time you got on Mr. Cooper? Or what was your?
That's a great question.
Yeah. Or what was your first show where you was like, God damn, I'm in this shit now.
Smart guy.
Smart guy?
Smart guy was big though. You remember
that was the one that I was
brother?
like, yeah. That was when I stopped saving money and just was like, I'm gonna just make money every fucking day. We just went to Vegas every fucking week.
How many seasons of Smart Guy did y'all do?
We only did 3.
It seemed like Roger. You seen everybody just grow up. It was crazy.
Well, see, so this is again. So Wild and Crazy Kids was 3 years, right? Right after that ended, Hanging with Mr. Cooper, 5 years.
Now
we did 3 seasons of Hanging with of Wild and Crazy Kids, 5 seasons of Hanging with Mr. Cooper. That's where we got to syndication.
And
we did 101 episodes.
Yeah, y'all
right?
got there.
And then Smart Guy went for 3 seasons.
Could have been longer.
Could have been longer, but that ended for a reason that it should have went a little bit longer. But it wasn't. I want to beat a dead horse on that. They did not do us fairly. This is the thing that we don't say. We like to talk shit about what we did in reaction, but ain't no way in hell all of us should have been getting the exact same pay. It's
On which show?
Smart Guy. The show was called Smart Guy. He was clearly the lead.
Wait a minute. All of y'all.
We were all, I don't know if anybody says this before, but we were all getting the exact same thing.
That's why he quit.
Not right.
Damn.
That's why he quit, right?
The show got canceled is what happened. Okay, so the story, what happened was he finally held out in the third season. And by holding out, he said, this is some bullshit. I should get more than them. Why wouldn't I? I'm the star of the show. And
y'all didn't feel no way.
And what?
Y'all didn't feel no way about that, did you?
It had nothing to do with us. We didn't, for us, we had the show must go on mentality.
Yeah.
I questioned the timing of it and the, it's the hard thing, man. If you are going to make a threat, you have to fully pull the trigger.
Yeah.
If you say, if you do this, I ain't coming, well then you better not ever come. Don't just come back. So there was a week during the filming, he said, I'm not showing up for work today. And they said, all right. And then they came to us and said, Taj are not in this episode. So in this episode, y'all are pulling away. We were like, cool, more lines for us. And we did the episode. The next week, he was back.
And that's where he messed up at.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of mistakes there, but I don't know. I don't know if you're gonna. I don't think if he just stayed out, it would have been picked up. They just didn't play that shit with us. It's just one of those things, man. There's certain things you could do and certain things you can't. But that's really too. A lot of times it's your representation, man, because these agents will fuck you. They'll ruin relationships for their client that has nothing to do with their client, and that's a shame.
Now I have to ask this: was this actually him making these decisions, or did he have a management? Because I'm thinking like, wait a minute, this is a kid.
Of course not.
There's no way he's making demands.
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
he's not going. I'm not going to work tomorrow.
Right.
Your parents say, get your ass to work. His mama didn't play. Get your ass to work.
Okay, so that's who was.
His mom was black. Dad was white. Dad was cool too, but his mama was like the one. Like, look,
she was running shit.
Yeah, so you already knew.
Gotcha,
you already knew. When we heard about it, we was like, oh yeah, she ain't letting him come to work today. and it ended, man. It was a really good show. The writing was so fucking good, man. For me personally, it was the easiest. I was like, damn. I hang with Mr. Cooper.
Oh, why did that end too? Why did that one end? Because you didn't say why that.
That's
ended.
interesting. That's interesting. But this is there's so many stories here. So with hang with Mr. Cooper, let me talk about me, and then we're gonna jump back into the whole situation.
Okay.
But with me, hang with Mr. Cooper, I started that show at the presentation of the show, which means the show just starts. They have a concept and they cast it and they film it. It's called a presentation. This is how they did it back in the day. They shop the presentation. A company picks it up, and then we shoot a pilot. I was in the pilot. We shot the pilot, waited a few months, and then it got sold the series. So now we reshoot the pilot, and the first season is one. And I'm not in every single episode. I get what's called a reoccurring role. No, it's series regular, but I got 7 out of 13. I wasn't in every episode. You know what I mean? I guess we call that a recurring. But anyway, I was 7 out of 13. So if you watch the show again, there's certain episodes I'm just not in because I was contracted on only 7 out of every 13. You do 25 episodes. I probably did, 18, 19 episodes at most of the first 3 seasons. The last 2 seasons, they made me a series regular. I had to fight for all that shit. So like I said, I was in the presentation, then the pilot, and then in the first season, the episodes that I was in. Then they revamped it. They got rid of Don Lewis, and then they brought in Sandra Quartermain, and then they brought in Raven Simone, and then they brought in another little kid, and they kept bringing other people in, and I'm just sitting there going, nigga, I'm the guy. Like, why you
that I was going to say. Were they trying to get you up out of there? Seem like
it's not that they were. I don't know, because again, you don't know what goes on behind closed doors. They might have been like, yo, we get over this. They kept bringing in other people. They kept bouncing them off me, and I was the only one. I would just bang, bang. That's just what would happen. They brought in George L'Amour and Chris Carter, and they were like the 2 guys around me, and then they were in for a minute, and boom, and then they were gone. And then they had Marquise in this situation, and they were, so it was a struggle all the way to the. Now, this is the interesting thing about that show as well. They actually changed executive producers, I want to say 3 times. Like, what?
Hanging in with Mr. Cooper.
Bro. Dang. So, and that's why I got Smart Guy. It's what led to me getting Smart Guy, because one of Danny Kalis, who was an executive producer of Hang with Mr. Cooper, left the show or got fired or whatever the case was, and then started his own show, Smart Guy, and said, hey, I got a role for you on this where you're playing a bully. And then that evolved into best friend because the chemistry and everything else worked so well. But what I'm saying is, and again, I love Mark Curry. He's my mentor, man. He's the first one. He taught me timing. I'm doing stand-up comedy now. He called me on the phone like, how does your set start? Go. Like, break it down. All right, change that to this. Like, that's a real one there. But he was the talent that stayed. You know what I mean? Like, there was a show called Thea.
Yeah, I know. I'm on Thea.
Yeah, Thea.
And Thea was, she was difficult.
That's how I heard that.
Work with. Yeah. She was difficult to work with. Me, I loved her. I thought she was hilarious. I remember I had like 4 or 5 scenes on there, or 4 or 5 shows, whatever. I remember I was wearing something and it was too fucking tight. It was hell. She was like, look at this boy. Look at me. He looked like he's stuffed into that shit. Like, why would you put his ass in a bigger suit, please? And I was like, oh, thank you. Yeah. You know, but she was difficult and the show ended. There's been other situations like that. Mark Curry never appeared difficult. I've never seen him difficult. He's nothing but funny. Everybody I know loved him. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what the backstory is, but his show remained and they changed executive producers. Mm-hmm. The last 2 seasons was the first time we got picked up for 2 seasons. It was like, we've done 3 seasons. Okay, we got a new executive producer coming in and we're picked up for 2 seasons straight. Omar, you're now a series regular. Oh shit, this is it. You know what I mean? And still, that's not when I really felt. When I really felt that was it was when I hit Smart Guy, which was right when that ended. Now, when that ended, again, we made it all the way. If you make it to 100 episodes, that's pretty much the end. It wasn't like, oh, sorry, we're not coming back. Yeah, it was, let's just get to 100 episodes. Yeah. So Hanging with Scooper was a complete success. It made it all the way to where it was supposed to be, and then that show was done. You get to 100, why do more?
Classic.
So in Hollywood, they typically, okay. It's a great thing for a show to get to 100 episodes, but they're going to cancel it really nowadays after 100 episodes because of the syndication, basically.
Basically. I mean, that's how it was then. I know the syndication number has lowered too. So they say, I think it's like 80 something now. Like you don't need that many. But that's like Smart Guy. People think we were syndicated and all that. But the thing about Smart Guy was interesting. Smart Guy aired on the WB network.
I remember that.
Remember the WB?
Yeah, WB
did all 3
used to be
seasons.
lit.
Yeah, it was done. And then it got picked up by Disney. I don't know if that's ever happened ever. I don't know what other show has ever been on one network. Well, I'm sure that's happened. Picked up on another network. Mm-hmm. But what happened with us was we were on the WB with that racist frog. Welcome back, niggas. W bang like Sammy. No, that's fucked up. And then they got picked up by Disney, and we did a whole launch out in London for Smart Guy on Disney Channel, and that's what really crossed the show over, because we were watching
Makes
WB, but the rest of the world wasn't watching. Everybody's watching Disney.
But Disney took it off.
Disney took it off, and then Disney really launched it into the stratosphere, and it was 3 episodes, 75 episodes. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then about 3 or 4 years ago, it got picked up by Disney Plus. So it kind of got another revamp. So people like, yeah, I'm not 150 episodes of that shit. Like, nah, I think it's only 75.
So that's kind of like The Game. Remember The Game?
Exactly.
Yeah. Kind of like how The Game was on CW, then BET picked it up, and they got another move to the stratosphere. So with Hanging in with Cooper. Go ahead, Jim.
I think they bringing them back on Netflix. The Game.
Yeah, I seen
on
that.
Netflix.
The Game.
Yeah.
So with Hanging in Miss Cooper. So what was the end result for that ending there? Like you never said.
Yeah, but like I said, it was no bad blood. It was a big, huge party. We made it to 100 episodes. We actually did 101 episodes. They even threw one extra in there for us. Another paycheck. So we was happy about that. Great relationships all the way across the board. Dawn Lewis was in, and then she left. Loved her too. I'm mad that she had to leave. And it was probably just a contract thing, because it definitely wasn't acting, because she was tremendous. There was a lot of actors that kind of came and went throughout that whole ride. A lot of people I didn't remember. I didn't remember. That's why I met Tyrese. Somebody remind me. It's like, remember Tyrese was on Hanging with Mr. Where's an episode of Hanging with Mr. Cooper where we're supposed to have Boys to Men on, and they don't show up. But Tyrese is on, and he's just one of the boys. So we act like we're Boys to Men, and then the lights come up, and they see it's us, and we're like, oh, shit. And then Tyrese starts singing, and they're like, oh, wait a minute. So they get a show that way.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's a big episode. Look that one up. It's a great episode.
That's great. With Smart Guy Taj, he kind of stayed away from the industry after that. Was that on purpose?
He got into sports. Yeah, I don't know how his brain worked, but yeah, he was a little small dude, but he played running back for somewhere in Texas. But he was pretty good. Yeah.
No, I didn't know that, man.
No bullshit. Okay. No bullshit.
Dang.
Dude. And I remember the next time I saw him, we were in a room somewhere, and there was a kid just laughing in the corner, and I'm ignoring it. And I look over, kind of did a double take, and he's just laughing hysterically. I'm like, "What the fuck is this little nigga laughing at? Oh shit, is that Taj?" I didn't even recognize him. I did not recognize him, but I didn't think I've seen him since then. But.
Go back a little bit. Do you and Mark Curry, y'all still have a relationship?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's and it's cool, man. The first time, and it's weird too. Well, I say weird, but I did his podcast.
Okay.
And then when he interviewed me, he said, "Man, one thing that stood out about you to me was that you had incredible timing for a young person." And I said, "Bruh, I learned that shit from you."
Yeah.
I soaked up all the game. When I watched how he would take scripts and just flip it and make it his own. Mm-hmm. But, a lot of actors confuse this. A lot of actors think making it your own means just creating entirely different words. Mm-hmm. And that disrespects the writer. Okay. Where I was able to excel is I would take words that the writer wrote and make it funny.
Ad-lib it a little bit.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Not ad-lib. People say, I came to the table and I sat down and I knocked over the glass. And they say, I came to the table and then I went over to the chair and then I jumped on the wall and climbed up the window and it's crazy. And the writer's going, nigga, I didn't write that. But I would take, I came to the table and knocked over the glass, nigga.
Yeah.
Right?
See what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? And now they laughing at how I said their line as opposed to just said some other shit. You know what I mean? Mark was a master at taking their line and saying it funny. And I was just like, oh, hell yeah. And that's what kept me around figuring out how to say these other things. The first line was super glue. Some way I said super glue in the very first pilot. And I was like, always stick to that. When you find something good that works, hit it. And then I learned the beauty of it. I always think of the one day that it kind of clicked for me, that I had some shit special was the live studio audience day. Now, this is how sitcoms work back in the day. You get a script over the weekend. Right. On Monday, you have a table read. On Tuesday, you would go over the words again and then start blocking. Blocking is you sit here, you move to the desk, blah, 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 blah. Wednesday, you put it all together and do a run through all of the scenes in row for the writers. Thursday, you do the run through again, but for the producers. And then Friday, the studio audience comes in and you do the shit live.
So hold on, I always want to know that. Do y'all mess up in front of the studio audience?
Yes, that's the fun part.
And they just keep laughing.
They fucking love it. Yeah. But for us, we're nervous because we don't want to mess up. Yeah. So I remember the first time you realize it's okay to mess up is when you're doing a scene. Now the pressure is this: if you're shooting anything now, as long as it doesn't have a live audience, I can mess up. Ah shit, start over. Ah shit, one more time. Blah, 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 and then keep going. Yeah. Back in the day, you mess up, and it's at the end of the scene, we got to start all the way over to the beginning of the scene. You got to do that shit all one fucking take. You can't just stop, hold, okay, jump back in right there. Nah, you got to start the whole scene over. So that was the pressure. It was like a play. It was like, okay, I got to walk in, we got to hit his mark, and then when he walks out, he comes through this way, and then this guy comes around and sit down, pick your drink up here, say your line, hold for the laugh, say your line. It was a lot of work, So when we get in front of the audience, if you say something and you mess up and they go, oh, cut, everyone falls out laughing. Yeah. Because that's what they want to see at a live show.
They want to see the mess up.
They see the regular shit on TV all the time. They want to see the bloopers and the outtakes and what he's doing over here and drinking water and then flirting and whatever. But they want to see all that shit. You know what I mean? So
for most of your episodes, was it like real audiences laughing? Because sometimes I'm thinking back on like
put a laugh track
times Jeffrey says it'd be like a fake applause.
It's called a laugh track. And that's interesting too, because I did a series more recently called Family Time. We did 91 episodes of Family Time with no live audience. So we were able to run through more. We were able to get it done, blah, 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 blah. Right. But we have stand-up comedians punch up. Shout out to Charles Allen and a bunch of Chase and these cats were bombs. The dope thing was when you don't have an audience, if you do have an audience, you can do the same joke. They'll kind of laugh. The first time they'll laugh hard. Second time you do the exact same joke, they just know, they'll laugh. Right. They did have the like applause light too. Sometimes to egg you on a little bit more, like applause or laugh, and you kind of go, ha, right? Yeah. But without an audience,
it's not the same.
There's nothing there. You don't have the same energy. Right. You don't know when to pause. Like that was the most difficult part about Family Time, making sure that everybody knew this line is funny. You may have heard it 50 times because we've been rehearsing it all week. Right. But just when I say something about this fucking cup, you better pause for you say your next line. Because that cup shit I said was hilarious.
Right.
So if your next line is fuck that cup, I say, man, but that cup, and you just go fuck that cup. Now there's no place to put the laugh. You know what I mean? So it's called holding for laughs. And that was the difficult part. Yeah. Where you had to say something, you look around for a minute, that's the laugh happening, and go, okay, well, here's my reaction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the timing part of it. It's a lot of nuances there that make it. Yeah.
Shit.
Strong. I know it's strong.
So did you I hate to rewind a little bit. So was you doing movies or sitcoms first?
Yeah. Great question. So that's what was the beauty of Baby Boy.
Okay.
With the exception of Ghost Dad with Bill Cosby, all I had really done is television. I'm a television guy. That's really it. You know, a lot of people are like, "Yeah, what you been doing, nigga?" I'm like, "I'm doing TV." You know, and then they go, I don't watch TV. Oh, well, there it is.
Yeah.
You know,
Gotcha.
but a lot of television. But I did want movies and you know, serious drama roles and stuff like that. But it was hard from that 90s era to be taken seriously. You got to think about, you know, the Darius McCurrys and Urkels and that whole era about how many major movies it had been in when they had already been kind of typecast as that funny 90s comic guy, right? So it was a blessing for me and even people like Jason Weaver who were able to cross over. My direct reason was John Singleton, period. And ironically, it was with Jason Weaver that it happened. Me and Jason Weaver did a TV movie, and I got to tell the story about that, for TNT called Freedom Song.
Okay.
And it was about the first sit-ins in Mississippi. And, you know, the kids had to sit in at the lunch counter and get arrested, and then they succeeded by getting arrested. But we don't know if we're going to get killed or lynched because we black kids sitting at the lunch counter going, no, I don't want to leave. And they're like, all right, we're going to have to arrest you. And they're like, yes, we got arrested, but shit, I hope they don't fucking kill us. So there was a lot of intensity in our face. And I posted it on my page too, and it's funny because when I saw it, I was like, "Damn, I forgot." Sadly enough, I forgot Jason was in it. Sorry, Jason. But I said, just fun fact. John Singleton called me and he said, "Yeah, that's the movie I saw." And when I saw that, I was like, "Dude, I was in there for like 3 seconds. How the fuck did you know?" And the story of that was interesting. It was God, because it was this. I was good at auditioning, easy. I would book. Well, I wouldn't say book, but I would go in there and do my job. I would know the lines. I would give good conversation. I had good chemistry with people, you know, whatever it was. And then at the end of the day, the politics would kick in. Should we cast him or this other guy who's in this other movie? Or this Wayne guy? Or this rapper? Or blah, 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 blah.
Gotcha.
And he did great, but what is he in? You know, hanging with Mr. Cooper? And that's, I don't know. We'll go with somebody else, right? So with that movie, that actually happened. And they cast somebody else that had a famous family name. And
I'm gonna go back and watch it. Try to figure it out.
well, you won't see him in it because they casted this other kid, right? And an incident happened where he went to a club, got into an altercation, and got his ass beat. I don't know any other way to put it. He went to set. And then the people kind of drove by and did like some like drive-by sign. It scared the shit out of him, and he flew his ass home from Wilmington back to LA. And then they called me. Hey, Omar, we got an opening in this movie. And I was like, yeah, y'all should have cast me the first time. You know, and they were like, yeah, well, sorry. You know, they didn't say why. But like I said, it was God. There's no other reason. That's the movie John Singleton wound up watching and saying, "You're going to be perfect in Baby Boy." And I'm like, what?
Now I gotta ask you this: Did
I
you
want to find a nigga that beat him up and send him some money?
Now I gotta ask you this: Did you feel?
Oh, that nigga a bag.
Did you feel any pressure working with John Singleton and Baby Boy versus your brother and Boys in the Hood?
You would think I would have.
Yeah.
That's another great y'all answer some good ass questions. Y'all, you would think I would, but there's two things about the dynamic between me and my brother. One, he's my big brother.
Okay.
And it's not a close in age thing. There'd be more rivalry. There'd be more seeing us together if we were closer in age, I believe.
Right.
Probably so.
Because in black households, that's what we just do. Friend who's close in age, that's one thing. But then these niggas like 8, 9, 10 years old, that's like my dad. Nigga, he beat my ass when I fuck up and come in school and shit like, whatever.
Yeah.
So when he succeeded, I was happy for him, and I didn't go, damn, now I got to do it. Nah, I was just my big brother. I was so excited for him, and I was even more excited for us. When he got the Oscar, what?
Oh yeah.
That was at a time that they weren't just handing Oscars out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They wasn't hanging the Oscars out.
For us?
Hell no.
So we just want any black person to win. It dawned on me afterwards that my brother won. It was just the fact, the black dude won. That's how I am still to this day.
How old you was when that happened?
Huh?
How old you was when that happened, when he won that Oscar?
I was just at my own apartment. I was like in my 20s. So I think he was 29, so I was 20.
Was you watching it when he won that?
Absolutely. I wasn't at the Oscars though, motherfucker. But I was at home. This is a crazy story. So my dad and they don't hand out a bunch of things. My mom and my dad were there, and I'm sure his wife was there. So I was at my house and I threw a viewing party. Now, I did not think he was going to win.
Did he know
I wasn't that brother like, oh, I'm gonna tell you, listen to this shit. So I wasn't that. My brother, I bet you my brother win. I was just like, nigga, they don't give niggas no damn Oscars.
They know.
But he got nominated, so that's dope, right?
Yeah.
So I was throwing a party just for that. Get this shit. I can't remember which crew it was, but for the sake of argument, I'm gonna say Access Hollywood.
Okay.
Calls me up and says, where are you watching the Oscars? And I said, at home. We want to come send a camera crew to your house. And I said, why? They said, well, we think your brother's going to win the Oscar. And I said, well, if he doesn't, y'all got to get the fuck out immediately. That's just going to be very awkward. I cannot lie. I cannot shit you not. Yeah. And you would think, because when I said, when you went, oh, okay, so you knew? Hell no. I was ready for the jokes to how the hell they going to look leaving. Like, yeah, motherfucker, you waste all that tape. I swear to God, because when they had called his name, all I remember hearing was cute. That's it. And that's when I lost my shit.
That's crazy.
And the winner is, somewhere it's like, cute. Like that's it. I couldn't believe it. Yeah. I couldn't fucking believe he won. Not because he didn't deserve it. He absolutely deserved it. Yeah. And I also didn't, it's me just being real, I didn't think he deserved it until I saw it for the second time.
Yeah.
The first time I watched the movie, I was in the theaters and I was just like, it's a fucking red carpet. Yeah. I'm on the red carpet trying to promote my own shit. You know, he's like, nigga, the movie started. I'm like, fuck off. Let me get some more of this red carpet action. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We get in, we watch it. It's whatever. And I was like, yeah, good job, nigga. Good job. Then I saw it the second time at home, chilling, watching it, nigga. And when he cried at the end, I cried.
I was just going to say that.
When that nigga said, and he saw the check and said, you're my bastard, I was just like, hey, that's the strongest shit, man. It was a feel-good cry.
Yeah.
And it was such a good fucking performance. But the other reason I didn't think he was going to win is who he was up against.
Who was he up against?
Ed Norton in Primal Fear. Whew, you want to watch a movie again. This man plays, no, I can't talk about it without ruining the ending. One of the most shocking endings you'll ever see in a movie other than fucking Sixth Sense. It's phenomenal.
I ain't seen Primal Fear.
And that's who he was up against. And I was just, when I watched that movie, you didn't have to watch it twice. Right. The first time you see it, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And they, they always do the Golden Globes and then they do the Oscars.
Yeah.
The Golden Globes, he beat my brother for that. And I was
Ed
like,
Norton
okay.
won.
And I figured, well, they give him the Golden Globe, he's gonna win the Oscar too.
Yeah.
But it was so close that they were like, nah, Cuba Jr. won the Oscar, but this nigga's gotta win something for this. So they gave him the Golden.
When you seen Jerry Maguire the first time, you probably didn't realize like the cultural impact we were gonna have at the time, I'm sure. Because now when you watch it, you hear so many things people say now. Show me the money.
Yeah. My
What
brother's so good, man. He developed his own walk. I remember saying, this is my walk for the Rod Tidwell walk. And I'm looking at him going, all right.
He modeled himself out to Dion or something like that. Dion something.
I'm not sure how deep in the bag he went with it, but yeah, he was like, he was thorough. He said something, there's another line he said throughout the movie, he thought that would be the key phrase.
Nah, show me the money,
Show me
man.
the money was deep.
Show me the money. To this day, show me
to
the money.
this day.
You know
and yeah, man. So there was never a rivalry like that for me. So when I got the call for Baby Boy, my motivations were all the way different. I didn't think about it. The last thing I thought was my brother was in Boys in the Hood. Right. No bullshit. Until you say that right now, I'm like, yeah, that was probably a mind fuck. That's why I was trying to do. So I got to be better than him. Yeah. No, get the fuck out of here. I had enough shit to prove.
Yeah. Right.
Because I'd already had this career as a comedian, not even a comedian, just a sitcom kid. Child actor. Now I get an opportunity to show that I'm a man and I can handle myself with any dramatic role you throw at me and have you watch it. And the last thing you thinking while you watching me beat them kids with the belt and all them lines is Wild and Crazy Kids, Hanging with Cooper, or Smart Guy. That's the last thing on your fucking mind.
Facts.
Right?
So
you know, and I had people that knew me from that walk up and when I was filming it and just kind of go, oh, you playing that role, huh? Good luck, nigga. Good luck.
They were telling you that?
Yeah, my face. I was like, this. Good luck, man. And I was just like, all right.
Hey, is it true that Tupac was supposed to play Tyrese role?
Absolutely true. Thank God. Well, I would much rather had Tupac stay alive, but had he not, I wouldn't have been in it.
You don't think so?
He died in what, 96?
96.
I was just coming out of high school.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't start till 2000.
2001.
I would have been able to pull
2001.
it off. Plus the life experiences that I went through some shit.
Get to that role.
Yeah, I went through some real shit. Like I'm saying, that little niggas, they jumped my nigga. I couldn't retaliate, but I got to beat the niggas and retaliate. What? Even though it was with a belt, I was fucking that nigga up in rehearsal.
You were fucking him up in rehearsal.
I wasn't trying to. I wasn't trying to. I was like, I'm swinging so wide, and he remember him knocking on my trailer. He said, Mr. Omar, can you try not to hit me with the belt? And he like showed me his leg, and I was like, oh fuck, I'll try.
Yeah.
And they actually built a foam belt. They gave me a foam belt to use so that I can just go off. And I was like, cool.
That was in the movie?
In the movie, they gave me like a foam. Yeah, they
didn't
actually.
realize that.
Well, you can't tell. You see my arm swinging.
Okay,
You can't
gotcha.
tell. But it's in rehearsal. I just pulled my belt off. But I knew not to hit him. I tried not to hit him, but it's a belt. That shit was going
funny as
to
hell.
I gotta ask you in that scene. Did you normally come up with your own lines? Did you freestyle some of that, or did somebody actually write it for you?
Everyone will ask those questions because I'm a writer and they know how I get down, and I do improvs and stuff like that. But only best way I can explain it is John Singleton was a true writer director.
He actually wrote word for word what you were saying. When
you could get away with a nigga here or there, or a bitch or a fuck off or whatever. Well, not bitch, we're an unstable creature, obviously. But nah, he was true, man. Like all of the lines that I think of when I'm with him, that's him. Like the prayer, unstable creatures, all of those were him. Those were on the words, bro. I got the script to this day.
The one hit a quarter was him too?
All of that, bro.
He wrote all of that.
Because all you do is lock in, and once you lock in with the words, then you can just go after it. He would let us improv. I've done an interview where I talked about me and Ving Rhames and our fight that we got into in practice a bunch of times.
Oh, we're gonna get to that now.
But when we got into that, it was because it was a lot of reasons for it. But John lets you do your thing in rehearsal. But once it's done, the rehearsal's done. Here's the script, nigga.
Right.
Be ready for the script. And they have scripties that do that. You mess up the line and no, we'll do it again. You said this and it was supposed to be this. Okay, let's run it again.
Gotcha. Do Hollywood look down on child actors compared to regular actors? Like, was it harder just because you was a child actor?
The problem with child actors is most people's features change from child actors to adulthood. Really cute kids usually don't turn out to be really good looking adults. So if you're, and also it's just if we know you as this, now we got to figure you out, reintroduce yourself as this.
Like Urkel.
Yeah, it had to be hard.
Like Urkel and stuff like that.
Yeah, Urkel was a different story, I think. Urkel he did his job too well. He just really killed it.
He took over the whole show?
He could take his glasses off and I still see Urkel. Yeah. Like that's tough, bro. It's the gift and the curse of acting. There's a lot of actors that happens where you just like, I'm sorry, all I see is
they call it the Pee Wee Herman effect.
Yeah, please. What could Pee Wee possibly do? And you'd be like,
nothing.
That's Pee Wee Herman. Urkel was the same way, not for lack of trying.
Yeah, he came in, there's just one episode and he took over the whole show, became the star of the show.
Great.
So that was like kind of
I'm sure
crazy.
he wouldn't trade that.
No, he came in for one episode, but everybody liked his role so good, he was reoccurring. And after that, the next season, it was starring him.
That rings a bell now. You're absolutely right.
It was starring him.
He came into the show and said,
he did one episode.
I didn't know that.
And then,
I don't remember.
You know who else did that? They may not have been as young as Steve Urkel, but I think Will Smith, he came in early, but he didn't.
No, but
you don't see him as specifically the child actor.
Oh, the child.
But Will started off as a star. The first episode, he was a star of the show. Because he had the theme song.
I did a Bubble Yum commercial that was at the same time as Leonardo DiCaprio.
You did what?
A Bubble Yum commercial. There's one for Bubblicious. I'm talking about Galapagos turtle. I got a boombox and big ass turtle in front of me. Remember when it cuts to Leonardo doing his thing. I'm like, we the same age, little niggas.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Damn. We weren't in the same commercial, but it was the same era, same time. I'll send you the link. Somebody sent it to me. I was like, look at Leonardo. I didn't know he was in it. That was right before I did Wild and Crazy Kids, dude.
That's crazy. While we talking about Baby Boy, man, why the hell did you and Ving Rhames get into it, man? What was the real reason behind that?
Oh no, it wasn't deep. It was man shit. So when you talk about LA, I talk about, and this is where it gets deep. It was interesting. There's Los Angeles County, right? Then there's the San Fernando Valley, right? When I go out of town, I just say I'm from LA because they don't know the difference.
Yeah.
But if I'm in California and I say I'm from LA, they be like, "What part, nigga? I grew up off of Hoover and 13th." I'm like, "No, I just meant LA County, LA County."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but it's like LA dudes will say to you if you from the San Fernando Valley, "Oh, you a Valley nigga."
Oh, okay.
Right? You know what I'm saying? That's some shit they would say. Like, you'd be like, all right, nigga. You know, I may live out there, but you know what? Fuck you, you know?
Yeah.
So the whole story is this. I get the call from John Singleton. He books me. He says, I'll see you in 3 months to read for Baby Boy. I'm 24 years old. I was 250 fucking pounds at 6'1". It was over, just a big dude. I lost 30 pounds in like 3 months. That was nothing to a 24-year-old. Shaved my head, showed up at the audition, and I had all this raw energy. He saw me, said, "Damn, you look good. All right, well, let's see how you do. Let's see how you do." And we read the sides. And all I remember was yelling a lot, and screaming, throwing chair, kicking shit, and just showing, "What, nigga?" Just going off. And he was just like, "Yeah, good shit." Next day, I didn't hear shit.
After
the audition, yeah. Next day, I didn't hear nothing back. Checked back with my agents a week later, didn't hear nothing back. 2 weeks go by, and I figured, just guess I didn't get that. 2 more weeks go by. So a whole month later, I get a phone call. "Guess what? You got the part." I'm like, "What part?"
You done forgot.
I done forgot. Baby Boy. Oh, what did John Singleton? I was like, "Oh shit!" Right. So now I'm cocky again.
Yeah.
So I show up at the very first table read, and we sit down, and everybody's getting. We do the table read. Table read's fine. It is what it is. Boom, 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 boom. Then we start rehearsals. So when we started rehearsals, he does improvs. And I don't really know these things. Word associations. I say one word, you say another word, act out a scene. I'll give you a scenario, go. And he's just got his camera. He's got the old school camcorder, and he's just filming it. He give you a scenario, and then you go. And I was just doing my thing, and blah, blah, blah. We get to the end of rehearsal. John Singleton goes, "All right, good job. You guys are, things are coming along. It's getting better. It's getting better." And he looks right at me in front of everybody and goes, "But some of us need to step it up. All right, see y'all tomorrow," and walks off. I was like, "Nigga, what?
Damn.
The fuck did this nigga just say like that?"
Did you think you were killing it at the time?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I got the role. I lost all this weight. I'm swole. I'm looking at this. My bitches is looking at me that wasn't looking at me before. I'm like, "Nigga, I'm looking good. I'm feeling good. Nigga, head shaved. Nigga, I'm killing this shit."
Yeah.
He's like, "You ain't killing shit. Do better." And I was like, "Oh, hell no, nigga." I remember I couldn't sleep. I couldn't wait to get to the next rehearsal. Next rehearsal, no bullshit. I was just on fire. Only way to put it. No smoking, drinking, none of that shit. I was just on fire. Couldn't wait. And he said, "All right, we're going to start up today. First exercise, one person's going to sit in the middle, and everybody in the room is going to take turns asking them questions in character. Who wants to go?" Me, nigga. Me. I'm ready. I pulled the chair and sat around. I'm looking to go. "P, how you doing?" "How you doing?" I was on fire. Anybody said, "Damn, P, something wrong?" "Yeah, something wrong, nigga. What that money you owe me?" Like, nigga, what the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah.
I was just making up shit. So I was on fire the whole time. Every scene we had, all right, next scene, we move over here. All right, Omar, Tyrese, y'all go. Or we never said our name. Sweet Pea and Jody, boom, boom, boom. Y'all talking about some word association. I'm Melvin. I'm just waiting his family, spit, blah, blah, blah. And I get with Ving Rhames. Like, he has to walk. He said, "Okay, Melvin, you enter the scene." He walks in. "What's this nigga want? Fuck is wrong with you, nigga?" And I pushed him. You know what I mean? I grabbed him. And I had like young nigga energy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Young nigga strength.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like winning the physical altercations.
Yeah.
Even though we're acting, but I'm still just like, "Yeah, little nigga, stay your bitch ass over there. You want me to shoot this nigga now?" Like, I was just on, right? And there's only so much a grown ass man can take. You understand me?
Yeah.
The whole time, Bing's just kind of going, "Yeah, all right. Yeah, say like, all right. But I'm barking at everybody. What? And then even when Angel was sitting in there, we played my girlfriend, and she was in, and they were doing a little circle, and they're talking to her, and she'd say something, and we'd ask her a question, and she said, "Blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, I speak for her. Like, I was just on fire, bro.
Yeah.
So when the boiling point happened, and Ving Rhames was like, "All right, nigga." He hopped up in my face and was like, "Fuck is you running your mouth for?" I said, "What'd you say, old nigga?" He said, "Fucking, where you from, nigga?" Now, the nigga, this is when shit got real. No. So when he said, "Where you from?"
Yeah.
Right? my character was loosely based on, the character was a character. I know how I based it on myself, people that I met. But Big Cat from 60 Crip was the, what do you call it, like the advisor.
Inspiration.
He was the advisor on set for everybody. He was just the dude that just be like, nah, that wouldn't happen like that. Hey, bro, you got to do this, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, so I had
blah,
real
blah, blah,
people
blah.
helping with this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
we was
dope.
in the hood. We was, he was right off of, right in the heart of Crenshaw.
Oh, damn.
So he was just there kind of being the advisor type of nigga, right? So I knew he was from 60 Crip. So I don't bang, you know what I mean? So when he said that shit, no, he's in my face and we heated in an acting exercise. He's like, where are you from, nigga? I said, nigga, I'm from 60 Crip. He says, fuck you, bitch, you from the Valley. Right? And I went, that's when it was like message number one. This shit getting real, right? Yeah. And he said, what you gonna do? Do something.
Yeah.
And I said, what? He said, well, do something.
Yeah.
And I said, I remember because AJ Johnson, who played his love interest, right, was sitting right here next to me. And I looked down at her, and she kind of looked at me like this, like the Harlem Nights, like this, what you gonna do? Right? So I remember thinking, I mean, I'm still an actor. I'm fired up, but I'm like, I'm acting, nigga. So I said, bang, bang, nigga, you dead. He said, bitch, them ain't no guns. Smack my head, pick me up, body slam me on the floor, right? So we on the ground, right? And he's just like, now talk your shit. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, wait a minute, this nigga is serious, right? Yeah. So I wiggled my hands free, and his head was right here because he's like digging into me, grown man strength. And I'm like, this nigga, wait a minute. And I grabbed his forehead and I kissed it. I went, cut, nigga. Oh my God, bro. No bullshit. And he got up, and John was just the whole time, just chilling, just holding the camera, just, all right, good work today, guys. See you tomorrow. And I was like, damn, nigga. Yeah. And we got through it or whatever the case, and I'll never forget. And Ving walked over to me and he said, damn, nigga, would you take an acting class overnight?
But that's respect, though.
And that's what he said. He said just like that. And I was just like, nah, man. He called me out yesterday and he was like, good shit, little nigga, good shit. I'll see you on set. I was like, dang. And even then, I still wasn't all the way locked in to Sweet Pea.
You don't think so?
I still wasn't locked in. So at that point, what I'm gonna tell you, so and then I talk about Big Cat. Big Cat was like, he's like, bro, I'm seeing what you're doing, and it's there. You got the look. You look like what the character embodies. But you're loud. Yeah.
Or somebody who
You're
gangster
too
language.
fucking loud. You're just yelling.
Yeah.
That ain't it. Right? And I had to figure out what that meant. And what John said is, look, internalize it, bro. And I'm like, I didn't go to college, nigga. Break it down. What's internalizing it? He's like, well, you're projecting. You just like, you got to internalize that shit. And when I figured it out, that's when it clicked. I do remember one other thing that Big Cat did do. We went to his hood. And anybody take you to their hood, you know the street law, nigga. That's my hood. If you with me, you good. Just be easy.
Yeah.
But he said, but anything pop off, don't you be no fucking weenie. Nigga, my heart started pounding like I couldn't wait to do something. Like, what? Now I want to prove to this nigga, like, boom, but we're in his hood. Right. I went to this nigga's hood, and it was, it was hood shit. 60 Crip, these killers. These niggas weren't crazy and talking loud and da-da-da-da, but you knew any one of them niggas could kill you at any moment. Any one of them niggas could fly off the handle and do this and blah, blah, blah. And I didn't see no crazy shit that made me go, oh my God, nigga, get me back in the car. It was just being around them and just kind of soaking that vibe up. And it's like Rocky 3 when the nigga got the eye of the tiger.
Yeah.
When the nigga took him to his gym and said, see, they look in their face and they sitting there looking and you say, see that look, nigga?
Yeah.
That's that kind of dead zone up in here. Yeah. That's what I had to get.
Yeah.
Right? And
lock
I felt that lock-in point. And it made me, if you yell and they say, no, stop it, close your mouth. Okay, yell now. Okay, how about now? Now you're so fucking mad, but your mouth is clenched. And I want to lock my mama for money. That became the evolution of wanting to yell and shut the fuck up. When you think of no, nigga. And that's when I was locked in. That's when I was completely locked. I was like, okay. And then once I figured that out, it was one of the easiest roles I ever portrayed. Because I figured that out right at the beginning. The first scene we shot, that I shot.
Right.
Again, I always tell the story. People are like, nah, the first scene y'all was walking up. Shut the fuck up. The first major scene, John Singleton told me, this is the scene I'm sending to Paramount so that they know we got a real movie going on and they keep this shit flowing. So I need you amped for this. I want you jumping up and down, get your heart racing, do some push-ups, whatever. When I say action, I want your heart beating out your fucking chest. Now think everything we've been through right now. Action. I was like, nigga. You know, I'm sitting there holding them shears, nigga. Oh my goodness. I'll never forget. So even now, when I prepare for some shit, if I know it has to be intense, you don't just be talking like this and be like, action, hey! No, nigga. I go get in the zone. I do push-ups, jumping jacks, whatever I need to do. I want to be sweating, makeup, clear that shit up. But we got to, I want to be ready, get your heart going. And, he was a supreme motivator in that regard, my boy.
How was it, with, doing acting with Tyrese and stuff? How y'all relationship is?
So, Tyrese, what happened was we were just two different type of people. Him and John Singleton, I believe, they bonded because they were the same type of people. They didn't smoke, they didn't drink. I did,
right?
Yeah. So I also approached acting differently then, in the sense that I was really closed off because I like to focus.
Right.
So the girl that played my girlfriend in the movie, actually, we started dating afterwards.
I was going to get to that. Yeah. Angel, right?
Angel Conway. Yeah, shout out to her. Love her to this day. She's dope. But a really good person, real sweetheart of a person. And it kind of started off with me just kind of being a protector type of nigga. You know what I mean? And she was really good with that. She was just like, okay, I'm going to be here with him. Yeah. So when the day would end, the cast would want to go out, hang and bond and become close and this and that. And I'd be like, nah, we're going home. You know what I'm saying? Tyrese specifically wanted to hang out. And I was just like, what do you mean hang out? Like, we're hanging out, nigga. Like, no, come to my house. I was like, I can stop by. He's like, no, stay later.
You really didn't see a reason to.
What was it, Diddy party, nigga? I know when to leave. Our heads were different. I don't think it was on that type of shit, but to him, that's what bonding, that's how to really get into the role. There are actors that in order to cry, in order to get sad, they have to see something sad, read something sad. I know people put headphones on and watch dead babies video. Like, oh my God, I don't want that shit on my spirit. I'm going to act.
Yeah.
I want to say cut and then go on and be happy, not cut, I need a minute. Oh my God, like fucking hell. Like, you know what I mean? So, he really wanted to get method with it and just like hang out and do this and that. And I was like, nigga, you come to my house? He was like, cool. So he came to my house, he opened the door and there was a party in that motherfucker. That's how I rolled.
I just thought y'all would have been real close. I mean, y'all bond was so good on that movie, bro. I just thought y'all was tight in real life.
It's called acting and motivation.
Yeah.
He had a lot to prove. I had a lot to prove. So on camera, easy. You see us now, thick as thieves. You be like, oh yeah. Back of both our minds kind of go, nigga. But not dangerously so. It's just we didn't get along in that regard. He came to my house, he didn't like it, whatever. We did the man thing. Let's step outside. And we stepped the fuck outside.
You and him?
Yeah. And we was face to face, nose to nose. And I'll see you on set. That's it.
Wow.
I think he thought he could intimidate me because he's reading stories and hang with Mr. Cooper.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case. So, and he was like, oh, well, shit, I'll see you on set, nigga. And I was like, yes, you will. And the only thing, I can only say facts, man. The things I'll say is like this. There's a lot of people go, hey, we got Omar Gooding on. And they play, you just a baby boy. That's the song of the movie.
Yeah.
Right.
They did a video.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody was in the video.
So y'all basically...
Was everybody in the video?
In what video?
Baby Boy.
No, you wasn't.
I wasn't in the video.
You weren't in the video.
And it got personal when I didn't even think it was that big a deal until I got a phone call from Angel, who was a video girl. She was in tons of videos.
Yeah, before that.
Yeah. She said, they doing a music video for the movie. That's what movie? Baby Boy. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Where is it at? In Northridge? Guess where I lived at the time?
Where? Northridge. So wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Around the corner from my crib with everybody in it. And I pulled up like a movie, nigga. Jumped out the Bronco, stopped the shit, walked, no bullshit. Walked out the Bronco, everybody, the whole shit stopped, nigga packed, nigga, oh shit. John walked over, shook his hand, whatever. It's all Tyrese, I said, where's Snoop at? Went in the trailer, smoked with Snoop, and then left and walked back through it. Nigga was like, hey man, throw some clothes on, get in the video. I said, hell no. Because if I show up, get in the video forcibly, and then they cut me out the video,
right.
Woo! I wouldn't be able to just sweep that shit under the rug.
So you intentionally went, but you didn't rock with Tyrese to the point to where you just didn't want to be in a video like that, or you just wasn't.
Let's be clear. They were shooting the video. I found out and arrived at the video.
Oh,
you understand me? They didn't say, "Hey, blah 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 blah." Like I'm not fucking with him. No, they were doing it without me. But they just happened to everywhere you could have did the video. You did the shit in Northridge where I live, nigga. We filmed the shit. We talk about the Valley shit. That was in the Valley.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They could have did it in LA somewhere, and I'd have been like, "Oh, they doing an LA video, whatever." No, nigga, it's around the corner. Like, dare you to pull up? Well, I pulled up immediately. What's happening?
Damn.
Anything? Anybody want to get out? No. Okay. All right. You know, deep, but not threatening. I guess maybe sort of threatening. But we didn't do nothing to nobody. We just walked through, kind of, you know. All right, whatever. I see y'all, you know. And that's
I'm out. That's it.
And that was it. Get in the video. No, nigga, not now.
So what's your relationship like with Snoop that you remember? Any fond memories you remember from the Baby Boy?
Well, you understand, with Snoop, I've rocked with Snoop a lot of times. So we did Baby Boy together. That was in 2000. In 2005 or 2003. Anyway, I did a series called Playmakers for ESPN.
I'm on Playmakers.
Okay. Remember Playmakers? It was on ESPN. So if you watch ESPN as Man at Boom, you saw fucking Playmakers. They actually asked me, they said, we want to get 50 Cent on the show. And I was like, get 50 Cent then. What the fuck you waiting on? And this was then. He wasn't all the way what he was, but still, he was 50 Cent. I knew I'm a rapper, nigga. I know 50 Cent. Get 50 Cent. And then when we came to do the scene, I looked at the script and it said Snoop Dogg. And I said, oh, we getting Snoop too? And they were like, no, we just gonna do Snoop. So I'm like, why wouldn't y'all get 50 Cent? But anyway, so Snoop Dogg acted he played my brother in that. So that was the second time we worked together. And then he called me about 4 years ago. 4 or 5, 2004. Anyway, and I did a play for him. He did a play about his life called Redemption of a Dog. Shit was awesome. We toured all over the place, blah, 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 blah. So I constantly fuck with Snoop, man. Great dude. Hard to say anything bad about Snoop.
Yeah. I know you told a story on another platform about how Snoop said to you, you know, good job or something, and you started to say something back, he just kept on riding.
No. That probably came off wrong. What I mean is, I was leaving a set, and he pulled up, and I rolled down the window, and this was still when he used to drive his own car. And I remember, because it was just him, and he was just like, hey, no, he might have been in the passenger seat. But he said, hey, he said, hey, I see you doing your thing, my nigga. You doing your thing. And drove off, and I was just like, nigga, dope. For me, that was just validation to hear him say that shit. So, big up to Unc.
That's what's up, man. I want to go way back, man. You worked with Bill Cosby.
Man.
And Ghost Dad. You was the kid, I think, next door or something like that.
Stewart. Something.
Yeah, Stewart. What was it like working with one, regardless of what people say, one of the first GOATs when it comes to comedy? What was it like working with him, man?
Ultimate professional. He knew. What I take away from working with Bill Cosby is you have to, in order to have something successful, where like let's say we're all doing a scene. Let's say you're not that good or he's not that good because you're nervous or whatever the case is. Then before we get going, I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna loosen y'all up. Y'all will feed off my energy. Blah 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 blah. He knew how to do that.
Right.
He knew how to walk up. Hey kid, I was like, oh shit, the whole thing is screaming inside of me, nigga. This is Bill Cosby, and he made you feel just like a regular person, just a normal motherfucker. He did make my chocolate milk though, and I don't know if that. Like, sip this, young man. No. But he was cool as shit, man, and real easy to work with. There's a fun story that I just want to throw out there for y'all, man, which I forgot about. I did a documentary on my life that I haven't released yet. I just, somebody's like, let's do one on yours. And I was like, it's very fucking creepy to do your documentary while you're live because it feels people are interviewing you and shit. Like, he was. I say, don't say was, I'm right here. And my brother's in it. And when I asked him to be in it, he said, I should tell the story about how I was thrown off of the Ghost Dad set.
You was thrown off? For what?
I said, what are you talking about? And he goes, I actually had talked to my mom. I had to talk to my mom about it too. And I was just like, yeah, I think I'm going to tell Cuba to see if he could be in this thing. And she's like, yeah, he'd probably tell that story about Ghost Dad. Remember he got thrown off the set for talking to you and giving you coaching advice? And I was just like, no, I don't. I thought she was bullshit. And when I talked to my brother, he came right away. He was like, yeah, that was some bullshit there.
So he threw him off.
Yeah. I won't tell the whole story because it's on my documentary. But Sydney Portier was the director.
Of Ghost Dad?
Damn.
Sydney Portier, the one and only, was the director.
That's crazy.
And it's amazing that I'm talking about, Usually my mind works where I'll forget something and then you'll say, remember this? And I go, no. And then you'll explain it and I go, oh yeah, that's right. Nigga, I don't remember this shit at all. And I was, 12 years old or so. But my brother was always supportive and he always give me, hey man, on this next line, try this, da 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 da. You know, he's already doing it. Mm-hmm. And Sydney Portier was like, who the fuck is this talking to my actor? Get the fuck off my set, and made him go wait in the trailer till I was done working.
So he old school, kind of.
Yeah. But Cuba got his revenge. Well, I wouldn't say revenge, but they all had to take Oscar pictures together. So it was like, you know what? You the one.
Yeah, so. That's crazy, man. Yeah. We have to ask. The accusations came out about Cosby a couple years ago, stuff like that. Where were you when you heard them? How did you feel about it? You know what I'm saying?
For me, there's so many witch hunts. You know, they did the shit with my brother. They did it with, so many different actors that it's hard to tell what you should believe or not because you're almost numb to it. Like, yeah, of course he did. Yeah. Okay, fine. I didn't think it would stick. I think it seemed like he was one of the first celebrities that it was just like, oh, really? And all of a sudden, 20,000 other people pop up. Yeah, me too. We're like, God damn, really? So it was tough, man. That's an icon, man. I watched every single episode of the Cosby Show. I watched his stand up. I watched his old school movies with him and Sydney Portier, the black and white shit. Oh man, and he did it without cursing, which is undervalued and underappreciated to be able to entertain everyone, Cause I do hip hop and it's dope, and I get raw and I'll be like, nah, and I'll be like, oh, I want to play this for these folks, and then I go, shit, I can't really play this for them, like, you know what I mean? And it's like just to be able to come across as raw, as hard, as authentic, as funny without using profanity, that's strong for his whole career.
Yeah,
look at Will Smith. He said, don't ever curse in a rap. And then started cursing on some shit he released recently. And
recently.
There's like some shit changed.
Just recently.
Didn't he do a song called "You Saw My Blinker, Bitch"? You remember that shit? So I remember the first time he said "Don't curse." I was like, "What happened to Blinker, bitch?" Nigga,
Eminem was on him too much.
I think it's kind of like crazy judging people off something that happened 50, 60 years ago and judging them off of the laws now in 2024. That's kind of weird to me. Hey, I said I don't really care.
It's scary, bro.
Yeah, that's kind of scary.
I mean, they can take out anybody they want at any time.
See how
they did, hold on, y'all. I'm gonna ask the question for y'all. Did you see how they did my brother?
Yeah.
I was in a restaurant. It said breaking news. I was at a bar, be more specific, bar restaurant. I was at the bar and the TV came on and said, breaking news, Cuba Gooding Jr. caught us. I said, oh shit. And they said, now we're going to the footage. And I looked at the footage like this and we watched the footage and it stopped. I said, well, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
I didn't see shit. And then they looked at the good and they went, oh, hard to watch. I was like, hard to watch? What the fuck did he do? Yeah. And then I was like, let's just see what the charge is. It's got to be something that we didn't see. And they said, forcible touching or some shit.
Yeah, something like that.
I was like, what the? You can lock up anybody for that.
Anybody.
Mm-hmm. Any nigga that used to go to a nightclub in the last 30 years.
Anybody.
What?
He grabbed my butt at Saturday night.
And at least if I'd have saw him do that or grab a titty or something, he didn't do shit. He just kind of did this and then he went like this and then he did like this and then cut to her walking behind him. I said, That's how it is.
Yeah.
When they want you, they want you. They go way back in time and be like, oh yeah, this nigga Omar. So I don't know. I want to fill in the blank. They be like, he admitted it on that podcast.
No, you go ahead, G. My bad.
Now I'm gonna ask you a quick. You and your brother. Mm-hmm. Now, I mean, maybe I don't know the info on this. Maybe you can enlighten me. Why y'all never did a movie together?
The main reason is what I talked about, our 10-year gap. That's the main reason, I believe. Because is it animosity? No, we're also both alpha males. Have we butted heads? Fuck yeah. We've had some situations to where I was like, nigga, when I see you, it's on. He like, nigga, as soon as I get back in the country, nigga. And the nigga showed up 3 weeks later. My adrenaline had left. I'm back, nigga. Okay, good. Glad you made it safe. Click. That is a true fucking story. I was like, nah, this nigga know martial arts, all type of shit, nigga. I was mad.
Because normally like brothers, I mean, I grew up, I watched the Wayans, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why these guys didn't do
I wish I had like a quick, like, oh, this one time this happened, and that's why we was like, fuck you. Nah, man, it's always love when I see him. there was like with Tyrese, that was different. That's like, okay, nigga, y'all kind of had beef. That was a beef, and you kind of moved over it. Me and my brother never had beef. Me, when I talk about being a TV guy, I've always had a job.
Right.
You know what I mean? Look at IMDb. Whoever on IMDb is, that's when you look. List of credits of what are being on. You'll see me in something every fucking year. There was never no break.
Right.
I'm 47 years old, been acting since I'm 9, nigga. I'm gonna do this shit till I die. That's what entertainers do. We don't just retire. Some people go, oh, he's decided to quit. Yeah, you gave that nigga too much money. That's why.
Right.
But you know, it's always been a scheduling thing with us. You know what I'm saying? Here's one answer I can give you. Even though you may not see it right away, we look a lot alike. And it makes it hard to be believable in circumstances. So there's 2 specific times where we almost worked together. One was Jerry Maguire, believe it or not.
Damn.
I auditioned to play his brother.
To play
his brother.
Aries Spears' role.
I auditioned. I'm the king of auditions. I did fine. Let's be honest. How good did Aries Spears do? Did he do something to make you go, oh, he had to be casted in that? I mean, what did he do? I don't know. So I'm not to say it like that, like hating on Aries Spears. I'm just saying it wasn't something where it's like, oh, you didn't act well enough to get that role because that role had to be this or that. It was just the brother role. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I should have been able to get the brother role. I'm actually his brother. Like,
actually look like him. Yeah.
And the excuse that I heard was that the director didn't want to be seen. I don't know why they use the word director, even though the director isn't the one that always does the casting. But he didn't want to be seen to be showing favoritism by casting his actor and then his brother.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? A lot of people would have flipped that on me and been like, "Oh, you only got that role because you was his brother." I'm like, "Damn!" And then you look at the role and he's like, "Oh, I didn't really do shit." Although I would have probably tried to make it my own in some kind of way, but you know what I mean. So anyway, so that's that one instance. And then he did OJ. Remember the OJ biopic
on FX?
Oh, he should have got an Emmy for that shit.
Yeah,
he killed OJ. No pun.
They were talking about it though, but they didn't go through. They didn't, you know.
Yeah, it was tough. Well, because it's OJ.
Yeah,
true.
You know what I mean? Yeah. There's only so much they want to get at nigga.
Yeah.
So I auditioned to play AC Rollins. That's in the car with him that drove the car. Yeah. And the audition went well. They bum. But their reason was you look too much like him. If I'm sitting there, he's in the back seat and I'm in the front seat driving, you're not going to lose yourself and go, I'm watching OJ. Because that's the point of us as actors, to make you not think about, like I was saying, Baby Boy. You should be watching Baby Boy, not thinking about Wild and Crazy Kids and all this other shit. When you're watching OJ, you should be watching these two in the car going, them niggas look like brothers. I can't believe they twins. They damn near twins. All them niggas are the same. And then there's like, nah. Let's just go with fucking, I don't know, what did they get? Malcolm Jamal Warner? Who's phenomenal.
Yeah, but in Hollywood, though, they don't too much typically do that anyway, though, do they? Because I don't think, did Eddie Murphy ever do a movie with Charlie? I don't think so.
No, they didn't do no projects together. No, you're right.
I don't think they do. I don't think they ever did a movie together.
I was just thinking about like the Wayans. You know, they've been in stuff together. You got to think about, what was it?
Well, Wayans produced their own movie for them to be in the same movie together with white chicks and stuff like that.
Is there somebody that can let them in?
Yeah, But yeah, that makes sense though for y'all not to.
Yeah, I mean, so you know, for us, the clock is not like, oh man, we gotta hurry up and do something. Right. We have acted before together.
Okay.
And the funnest thing that we did, my brother got cast in a series called Big Time in Hollywood, Florida.
Okay.
Where he did one season, did a whole season where he played himself, but not himself.
Right.
Like him crazy. Like if you look at it now, you'd be like, oh nigga, that's why you got convicted. No. Wait. No, like the shit he was doing in that shit was wild. The scene we did, he's on a boat in like a fucking thong or fucking whatever. Like, you know, not a thong, but Speedos. You know, he's got a gun, he's got cocaine, he's doing lines, and I come out the thing, I'm playing myself. I walk out, I'm like, hey bro, we need you inside. And he's like, oh, what's up, big O? Like, man, you just need to calm down on that shit. And he goes, he pulls the gun on me and points it at me. And they let him right in here. No, there's a waiting area. We are doing an interview. So he pulls the gun on me, and I go, "Oh shit, sorry, man." He's like, "I'll shoot you in the face and shit." And So that was the scene that I did in that movie. That was the first time we ever really worked together professionally. No bullshit. I posted it online, and I just signed to Disney, and they made me take it down. So now that show has ended, I'll probably be reposting that now because it's a really good clip to see us two together.
That's dope.
What's up, man?
Is it more money in movies or TV show?
Now?
Well,
I would say
both.
Well, it first of all, it depends. Movie for who? You know what I mean?
right.
Certain motherfuckers, Denzel doing a movie, or But what lets you know that the gap is closing is when you see these A-list actors and actresses doing TV now.
Cause they used to wouldn't do the silver screen. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I worked, the first time I ever worked with Holly Berry, she had a show called Extant where she was the lead. And I got to make out with her and all type of shit. It was really, really awesome. Shout out to Holly Berry. But it was like, damn, Holly Berry's in the Oscar winner. You know what I mean? And I remember my brother one time, he was like, nigga, they offered me a TV show. They really pay all that much money on these TV shows? I'm like, nigga, what do you think? Yes. A week. I love TV more because it's more of the closest you can get to having a steady paycheck. We get paid every week, and then every time it gets picked up, that's another boom, boom, boom. Okay, keep it, bam, 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 bam. Movie, it's one and done. You either get that big chunk, and then you get residuals or not. And then you see how it does in the box office, and you hope to hit a Will Smith. Will Smith hit that lottery ticket with that Independence Day. Yeah, the numbers were so high that they had to pay him. They were like, "Look at that!" It's like he wasn't the lead in that shit. Well, close enough. He was one of the favorite. You think Independence Day, you think of him before anybody else.
Yeah.
So that's why
Yeah, you think of Will, not Jeff Goldblum or none of them. So, yeah, you think of Will. What you got going on now? I know you're doing stand-up comedy.
Oh, so much. So I'm still doing a little bit of everything, man. I got so I do have a series I want to talk about because this was right before the pandemic. When I talk about I signed a deal with Disney. So I signed a deal with Disney to play the dad on a new show called Saturdays. Now, Saturdays is about the roller skating culture in Chicago. It stars me, Golden Brooks from Girlfriends. We play the mom and the dad. And then we have a daughter and a son who are roller skaters, right? So we had to all learn. When our role was, we used to learn how to roller skate. We were the baddest ones on some skates, and then our kids wound up doing the same thing. And the whole goal through the whole season is for her to become the highest of at this place called Saturdays. And we filmed it. It always took place on a Saturday. So it's all black. It was the first all black show on Disney. When I say all black, I mean everything, right? And the showrunner, Norman Vance Jr., who also did Girlfriends, was the first black showrunner on a series in Disney. You know what I mean? So it had a lot of firsts going on. But the strike happened and kind of fucked that up. Because numbers were pretty good. We were on Disney Plus. It's still streaming right now on Disney Plus. It's a really good show. It's really funny. It's good for the culture. It's something. It has a little bit of something for everybody because it's got the Disney thing with the kids going on. You got Norman Vance at the helm, so he made sure that shit was current. Very funny. The writing was phenomenal. And then you got Omar Gooding and Golden Brooks, who are Omar Gooding and Golden Brooks. You know what I mean? So we really anchored that shit. We had great chemistry. Really want to plug that because it's something that needs to be seen. And thanks to the strike, we get good residual checks off of that. So please go check out Saturdays on Disney Plus and Disney. Do it now so this check will be here by Christmas.
I know that's right.
So we did that. We did only one season. We got 15 episodes of that. So it was a lot of work. We did that out in Chicago. Filmed that. Shout out to Bat Smoke that taught me how to skate. I keep doing this because my knees still hurt thinking about it. I got another series that I'm gonna start up in January. I can't really talk too much about that. I got a movie. I got two movies I want to talk about.
Okay.
So there's a movie that I did during the pandemic called AM Radio. Now every time I talked about this movie, shout out to Ricky Brichelle, the writer-director of that. Every time I talk about this movie, people thought I had an AM radio show. And they were like, "Oh, I'm looking for this AM radio show that you've been talking about." I'm like, "No, it's a movie called AM Radio, and it's about a recluse with mental health issues and alcoholism." And I was negotiating the film right before the pandemic. The pandemic hit, the investors backed out, everybody went into quarantine for a few months. 2-3 months into it, the director and I stayed connected, and the director finally just said, "Look, how can we get this thing done? What do you need?" And I told him what I needed. He said, "Oh, I'm gonna get that. Let's get this film done." And I flew out to Tennessee from LA, and still pandemic protocols. We all wore the masks and skeleton crew type of thing. But it was talk about a release. It was my best theatrical dramatic performance since Baby Boy, easily.
Dang.
It shows another side of range and emotion. The mental health aspect of it. It was filmed in 2020, the worst year in human history.
And when did it come out?
2020. It released at the end of 2020.
Okay, got it.
So, but it's on all streaming platforms. AM Radio, Ricky Brichelle, Omar Gooding, and it's all Omar Gooding. I got a lot of movies on Tubi. I'm giving a lot of brothers a chance.
Yeah.
Okay. Come on, man! I just need a chance. How much get you for one day? All right, nigga, this. Oh shit, I get that. Let's go. And then I show up starring Omar Gooding. I'm in it for 2 seconds. But this is me. It's all me, and it's you know, it's monologues, and it's not like boring. You just watching me just by myself. But it's really a great piece. But it being 2020, which, you know, I'm a Kobeist, you know, diehard Laker fan. You know, from history to current to forever. And, you know, I'm still fighting with LeBron, but I'm appreciating him more because I get to see him for 82 games now. But I used to watch Kobe every day. Went from his unbelievable death to the pandemic to George Floyd, all in one fucking year, and then point a camera at me and say, show emotion? What? You could only imagine. But the cool thing about it, for me, is, again, I'm the type of actor that acts. I'm acting, right? I don't have to get into this, blah, 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 get all sad, this and that. So I figure if I get into something that's really emotional and guns and crazy and losing my mind, is it gonna fuck with me? Baby Boy was a little hard to shake. I got into some street fights and some real shit after that luckily didn't got into what it was. But I was able to kind of table that at some point and veer off of that before that fucked me up. This movie, with the performance that I had, you would think it would have fucked me up, but knowing what I know about doing movies, one thing could go wrong and fuck up the whole take. Take is action. We do this whole scene. This knocks over. You got to say something crazy. You go, blah, blah, blah. You give this nuanced, detailed fucking performance, and they say, and cut. Oh, shit, something's wrong with the lighting. We got to do it again. Oh, damn, the sound wasn't on. Your mic didn't work. Yeah. Oh, damn, there was a hair in the gate. All these different things could fuck off a take. Yeah. So we had this pivotal scene, and I said, look, whatever we got to do, let's make sure we test it. We'll get everything ready. We make sure everybody's good. Mics, looks, sound. Can we do a rehearsal without doing every full speed so we know, do everything? Because I don't know what's going to come out of me when you say action.
Right.
And when he said action, it was like, oh, bro. When it finished, people were clapping and shit, which you don't do. It'd just be like, next job. But they were just like, oh my God, people wiping tears and shit. And I was just like, damn. I felt good afterwards. Even though when you watch it, you was like, damn, I wonder if this was the scene. Because there's several scenes in there, you be like, oh, this is probably the one he was talking about. But when it was done, it was just like, okay, you want to do another take? I'm like, sure, we'll see what happens this time. And every time he said action and we did another take, I was able to get right into it, pour my heart into it, and then cut and then be good. Be like, all right, where we going after this? We going out for a smoke, a drink, or something? You know? Yeah. So that's why I felt like it was therapy versus something that got into my spirit and brought me down and had me kind of fucked off. You hear about these motherfuckers that do these roles and then suicides or overdoses and all this shit. And that's truly fucking tragic. But AM radio, very excited about that because that's already done. It's in the can, but it's something you can see right now. And then I got a new one coming out called News Cycle. Shout out to Roger Green Jr. One of the best young film writers. I'll say new film writers because he's my age. Because he's been in music. He's got a long history of music. And I'll let him list his credits on his own interview. But this movie is really fucking good. And I'm one of the leads, and I'm at the peak of my abilities coming off of the one I just talked about. So you'll get that raw emotion there. Plus, I've always done comedy. Plus, you got the shock and it's a thriller. It's a little bit of fucking everything. It's called News Cycle about and this is the interesting part about it. It's about a radio station that gets held hostage.
A radio station that get held hostage. Okay.
Now, you know what's really crazy about, and I shouldn't even have said a radio station, I mean a news station.
Oh, news station.
Maybe that'll make, because it's called News Cycle. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. A news station that gets held hostage on live TV with terrorists. Guess what? That shit actually happened this year. We filmed this in February, finished filming it, and then we got a news feed that's in the news about it actually happening. You see these motherfuckers holding guns. I remember filming the scene and going, these niggas is doing too much with these fucking guns. They're like, whoa, move your head. I'm like, nigga, we got it. You have a gun. You don't have to do that. And I was trying to coach these niggas during the thing going, that's not believable. The shit that happened looked just like that, but by 10 times more. These motherfuckers, blah, 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 blah. It's like, damn, you already got the gun in my face. Why do you keep doing this? And the real shit you see, they're just like, no. motherfucker. Like, what are you doing? And then, so, no, it's crazy. But News Cycle, look out for that. I got some songs on that soundtrack. Speaking of songs, I do music. I got a shout out for Tima Rose, who is one of the hottest young, oh man, she's phenomenal, bro. If you follow me, Omar Gooding, on Instagram, I just leaked a clip of it. It's called Know About Me. And it's one of those things where, I know we're running out of time and all that shit. But next time, I'm gonna come back. I want to really get into my musical side and explain that not only is it my father in me, but me just being creative and loving to write. But I refuse to make a fool out of myself. You know what I mean? So if anything I'm going to do, especially for the culture, if it's not a contribution, then I'm just not going to do it. Now, I can make a mistake and think it's a good song. I just won't put it the fuck out. But if it's fire, it's fire. And I got 2 fire-ass singles, one with her and one with DJ M80 out of Buffalo. Shout to DJ Man called Overstand Me. That's a monster, too. But I did some music that's for the sound. I wrote a song specifically for News Cycle, so look out for that one too. And yes, I'm on tour doing stand-up comedy. Why am I doing stand-up comedy? Because of the writer's strike. And I'm a working actor. Like, I like to work. I can't just sit around. The pandemic was tough. That's why halfway through the pandemic, I went and did a movie. Everybody was on break. I said, I'm gonna go do this fucking movie. I gotta do something. I got too much in me. I gotta get it all out. And with the stand-up, I always had a comedy room in LA. So I would just be, I kind of evolved the Russell Simmons role. But thanks for coming out. God bless. Good night. Right. Yeah. I took it the opposite, where I would welcome everybody. Thanks for coming, motherfuckers. How you doing? Right. This and that. All right, y'all be quiet. Don't be heckling my niggas on stage. All that type of shit. All right, blah, blah, blah. Now make some noise for your host. And then the host will come out and do his hosting job, and they do the whole thing. Then I come on the end. Yeah, it was a great show, right? Thanks for coming. Good night. That's all I would do.
Gotcha.
Then I transitioned to being the host, which to me was easy work because I would come out with a lot of energy. I'd crack a joke about this, crack a joke about that, talk about you, try some shit. And then if it gets dry, be like, y'all ready for a comic? And get the fuck off the stage.
Gotcha.
In between each comic is easy because you do that, blah, 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 blah. Yep, oh, they're quiet. That joke didn't work. All right, y'all ready for a real comic, motherfucker? You know what I mean? So it was easy. It was easy. But hosting is easy as fuck. And then one time I was hosting about a year ago. This was right after the Montgomery Brawl. Right?
Oh yeah, that was lit.
Right after the Montgomery Brawl, and I'm gonna tell you how this came about. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna start killing this hosting shit, right? So what we did was, you remember what the dude was wearing? That threw the hat in the air?
Yeah, white t-shirt.
And black jeans.
And black jeans, yeah.
Right? So I got a white t-shirt, black jeans, and a hat. And I got it on, and I got a white guy on stage. And he opens up the show, and he's good. And he finishes the show, and he comes off the stage, and he's like, now make some noise for your host, Omar Gooding. And they're clapping, and he walks over to me, and I'm like, good job. All right, go off that way. And he goes, no, I want to go this way. I go, no, just go that way. He said, no, I want to go this. Walk that way. No, I said, DJ, cut the music. And I take the hat, and I throw it in there.
Crowd went crazy.
Crowd goes crazy. He goes, you're right. And he walks off that way. And once you get him with that first one, it's just body blow, headshot. It's easy. So then I just talking about the Aqua Boy and the announcer and all this. That whole shit was just a whole stand-up routine that I'm surprised nobody did. I might just do that shit myself. But I, ran off those jokes and I'd get off stage. Then I'd come back, talk about some more shit, blah, 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 blah. And then my boy goes, Charles Allen, my dude. Charles Allen said, yo, man, why don't you just do a whole set instead of just host it? And I said, fuck no. I was like, hey, where's my crutch? I can't get off the stage. He's like, yeah, nigga, commit to it. We're going to say, come to the stage, Omar Gooding, and get your ass up there and do your whole shit. So I just said, damn, all right. I'm 47 years old. I haven't been nervous since I was a teenager, nigga. I was nervous as fuck. And my nervous, I love when I actually get nervous because that means I care and adrenaline makes me focus. So I just ran all of my material together. What I had to figure out from a year ago to now is how to pace myself, how to slow down. You have a couple drinks, you get to talking, all of a sudden I'm talking too goddamn fast, I'm running over my jokes, I'm going to the next joke, slow down, nigga, slow down.
Gotcha.
So even with those flaws, I got up there and I killed it. I started with the same hat, boom, 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 and I just ran all the jokes that I had written together. And when I got done, I said, well, that's my time. And they went, oh.
And you knew you killed it at that point.
Like, damn, that's dope.
Yeah.
I was expecting it to be like, all right, good job, nigga, get off stage. And then, yeah, man, I got a couple headlining gigs after that. I did a Hope Floods had me host her comedy award show that she does annually. And the dope shit about that was like my coming out party for stand-up comedy because even though I was just the host, me and Torrey Hart,
Kevin Hart,
Torrey Hart got up there and it was we gave DL Hughley Award that night. Bentley was in the audience. We gave Bentley Kyle Evans. Shout out to Bentley who did Family Time. Jamie Foxx, on and on and on. Martin. And I remember Chris Spencer's one of the pioneers got up on stage and he whispered in my ear, he's like, "Man, you killing it on this motherfucker." And I was just like, "What?" It catapulted me. And not to mention, it got a lot of offers. Guys were like, "Yo, I want you to come out to Virginia." I got a couple things I should probably be plugging too. I'll be in Virginia, headlining for the Quality Comedy Show. No cursing, which was fun too. It was another journey I had to talk about.
It's hard to do that.
It's hard to not curse. Well, for me, a lot of my thing on stage is you've seen me acting and doing comedy where I'm not cursing. So it's kind of fun to see this other side.
True.
I remember when I watched Mark Curry do stand-up for the first time, I was like, "Oh shit, he's cursing. This is crazy." And he's a monster. That dude is just phenomenal. So all the stories you hear about him writing for motherfuckers and them
Cat and all that. Yeah,
all true. Just insane. He's a giver. And that's the one thing I will say about stand-up comedy for me, my journey. It's been different because I'm able to get into it and get paid right away because I have a name. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. A couple shows I did, other than that, Hat one was good. People, even in the Hat, I ain't gonna lie, there were funny jokes and whatnot, but I hadn't mastered it. I kind of just started. So as soon as I got off stage, people would walk up and say, "Hey man, I loved you in Baby Boy." 30 minutes up there, that's all you gotta say. So I knew I had to get better. But, I started writing more. Now I know how to write jokes. It's crazy. I sat down with my man, Charles Allen, and we were just talking. "Yeah, man, I'm thinking about doing some comedy and this and that." And I was like, "But I had a fucked up day, man. This happened and that happened and this happened and that happened." And he's cracking up. And he's going, "Nigga, are you writing this shit down?" I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, "Nigga, that shit was hilarious." And I was like, "I didn't think about it like that." Like, you ever have something fucked up happen to you and you tell somebody and they're laughing and now you can kind of laugh. You're like, "But that shit really hurt me." But it was funny to them. And he's like, "Yeah, nigga, your life is funny. That's how we come up with jokes." I'll be driving. I'll pull over the side of the road now, do a voice memo. I'll just be texting like, "Oh, that is funny. Why the fuck do bitches do that? That is crazy." You know what I mean? And then you try it out on stage.
And then it hit.
So yeah, it's been a great journey. But I was going to say about comics, they've been so supportive. It's crazy because in every industry that I've been in, acting, you kind of just got to hold your own. Rapping, that's a tough one. Rapping's tough because I don't give a fuck how many bars I got. I don't get that type of love. Like, motherfuckers, niggas be like, "Nigga, a bar." Niggas that's on and be like, "Yo," I'm not gonna name drop right now, but niggas be like, "Nigga, yo." I'm like, "Yo, let's yo." They be like, "Yeah." You know what I mean? Like, yeah. But you tight, but with stand-up comedy, nigga, they've been supportive as fuck. I'll get off stage and they be like, "Yo, I tell this joke about motherfuckers who talk about you get bigger. Like, you fat now, you big, you a big dude, just own it." I hate when a motherfucker say, "I don't know how I got this big." Nigga, you know you got that big. Right? And I said, "Nigga, you ordered it." Right? And then I said, "Let me get the number one, the number two, blah, 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 blah."
Yeah.
And the dude pulled me off to the side and said, "Yeah, nigga, but you know what? That was really good. But instead of just saying you ordered it, you could get deeper and say, yeah, let me get the double chin, the love handles, the diabetes with the, like, you know what I mean?" And just started listing it. And I was like, "Oh, I didn't even think about it like that." Boy, and then boom, 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 boom. And that's the community. That's like what Kevin Hart, he's like his Plastic Cup Boys. That's how that's what they do. That's what they help with. They say that village, that team. Well, you just bounce jokes off it. I came from the era where I think I keep the joke to myself and I'm gonna surprise everybody with it. But nah, comics, you gotta work the shit out. Like, what do you think about this? Oh, that's true. That's another way to look at it. Nice. And then they go try. Last time I saw Kevin Hart, right before he exploded, he was at the Comedy Store. And we all was hanging out and he was, "Oh, Kevin's up, hey man." And he just started talking to us and he was just saying shit. Everything he said was fucking hysterical. We just laughed like, "This nigga, you on one tonight." Yeah, he's I'm about to go up. He went on stage and did all the shit that he just practiced on us.
Damn.
And we were like, "Oh, he was working that shit out." And guess what? It was even funnier on stage.
Damn.
It wasn't like we were
smart,
like, "Oh, I heard this joke." No, we were like, "Yo, right, he was just saying that shit." And that made me go, "Oh, you can't keep this shit. You gotta work it. If it's funny, it's funny." You're gonna be like, "Oh, they're not gonna laugh because they just heard it." Nah, if it's funny, nigga, and you do it again, nigga, a couple drinks is gonna be even funnier. So it's a fun journey. We out here comedy tour. We got a bunch of dates. You follow me in the link. You can see we got. I think the next one is San Diego, and then we're doing Virginia. And on and on and on.
You got you got Atlanta this weekend. You want to talk about the event? Y'all
So
got going on
Atlanta,
this
yes.
weekend?
So this weekend I'm hosting a poker tournament, a celebrity charity tournament with DC Young Fly. And he's a wild boy. That's my dude, man. We've been he's
Smokey Jr.
Oh, come on, man. he's such a good time. But he's one of those type of people you just want to be around. You know what I mean? Such good energy. So we just made up some shit. How about a poker tournament, nigga? Pull up. We got a dope prize pool, a lot of guarantees, all type of good stuff happening. I know it's Atlanta, you ain't supposed to talk about cash. All right, whatever. But it's trust me, you gonna have a good time. You show up. We got a red carpet, a lot of people there with live performances. Shout out to Fatima Rose one more time that know about me. I'm not gonna perform. I got too much shit on my plate. I can't. I'm gonna let her get down and showcase her talent. I really want her to shine. We got a lot of people coming out. Pull up, get a ticket. Hit me in the DM if you just want to pull up, and I'll sneak you through the back door.
Yeah, it is.
That's what's up, man.
Hey, I'm gonna hold you to that now.
All right.
Sneak me in the back door now.
He with the crew. We with the crew. With me.
I really got two more questions.
Let's
real
go.
quick. This the last
more
two
sips,
questions.
huh?
I just thought about
This
it.
water. We don't talk about this cup. Okay.
A lot of people say doing comedy is the hardest thing because it's only you up there. You talking to a bunch of people that you don't know, and the hardest thing to do is make people laugh. Is that true to you?
Absolutely.
Even harder than that?
Never in my life thought I would do stand-up comedy. It was always a fucking fantasy. Like Halle Berry. Like just keeping it a buck.
Yeah.
I'm just it was just like, yo. And then next thing you know, I'm holding it going, no. But stand-up comedy was
Extremely hard.
extremely hard, bro. Like I said, I still get nervous. And it's not nervous, but I have to lock in. I say my prayer, I lock in, and then I go, okay, boom, boom, boom. But I'll go over it throughout the day. I'm a repetition dude. So I'll write my set. The fun thing about it is you go to a different city. Every city you go, you collect your material, your opening set shit. Right? You find out about this, that happened over here, boom, boom. This bitch said, what did she say? Oh, hell yeah, that's going in the routine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you give them that, and then you go into your bag. Your bag is the shit that you've worked out that you know hits. You know what I'm saying? And then you do a special at the end of the year, and you reset at the beginning and do that shit all over again. But you use that same shit throughout the year with little modifications and tweaks and whatnot. But the difficulty level, yeah, man. I mean, I've had not very many because it's just really, this is just what I do. But I've had those moments you go, oh shit. And the shit just go blank and you're like, what now?
Yeah.
You know, it'll happen to be like 3, 2, 1, boom. Like live stage plays, those shits are terrifying too. Because I remember I was on stage, packed fucking house, and I said my line, and then he said his line. And then when he was saying his line, my next line wasn't in my head. And I was like, what the fuck? And I'm waiting for it to come, and he finishes his line, nigga, and right when the panic in your heart, the adrenaline, shot that shit right to my brain. I was like, oh, hey, and I just got there. I was like, that's cutting it a little fucking close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's really fucking tough. Comedy, it's all about the crowd. You got to know your crowd. The only time I've never bombed, but I remember I walked in, I had my host, and I was like, yeah, my host couldn't host for the night. So I said, while he was gone, I was the host, and I was killing it. And then when he came back the next week, I said, yeah, man, I killed it when he was gone. He's like, yeah, right. I was like, what you mean, yeah, right? He's like, yeah, when you get up there, how long you gonna do? I said, nigga, I do 10 minutes if you want to, which is, an eternity if you're not really doing that shit.
Yeah.
This is before I really got into it. So I was like, yeah, nigga, I'm on, yeah. And he's like, you ain't gonna do no 10 minutes. This nigga watch me. So I was like, I'm gonna be up there no matter what. Now, I didn't know my crowd. It was all black women in the crowd.
Oh,
Damn.
And I did a joke about having a side bitch.
Oh, they ain't going for that.
Man.
Yeah, they ain't.
I
going
said, what? I'm not a billionaire yet, but if I was, fuck a side bitch, I'd have a side harem. The bitches wouldn't even have names. They'd just be days of the week. Monday, go get Tuesday, tell her come over here and get these balls. Like, room full of fellas, easy joke.
Yeah.
Room full of black women,
Yeah.
Yeah.
move on, baby. Move on to the next one. And I was like, fuck that. I'm going to stick with it. And I rolled out to the names of the week and da-da-da-da. And I was just like, ha-ha. But I didn't lose any confidence from it. But I've never spoken in front of people without laughter in that long. So that was like my version of it. And my lesson from that was know your fucking audience, bro.
Yeah.
Which is fun, But and I also didn't have like set jokes that I could just transition to. It was just one thing that I was like, well, I'm going to talk about having a side bitch. And that'd be funny. I can do that for 10 minutes. No, nigga. Not in front of them. Maybe with
Somebody
them.
else. Last question. You did a movie with one of my favorite rappers growing up, man. I just want to know, how did that come about? You and Cameron and Priscilla.
Cameron.
Yeah,
Oh, shout out Killer Cam.
Yeah, man.
Let's see. Was that yeah, that was just an offer. They were like, yo, we got the script, we got Cameron. I was like, oh, I love Cameron from afar. I never had met him before. Super cool nigga to work with, down to earth. Anything We ain't never heard nothing bad about Cameron. Man, that nigga was cool as hell. Cool as shit. He was a little rusty because I don't think he had acted since Paid in Full.
Yeah.
So there was that. But rusty just in the sense of like he hasn't done much shit less. I don't know if that was daunting to him, but I think it was just kind of one of, but it was great movies. Percentage, that's on Netflix.
Yeah.
I'm going to check that out. It's a good one. I kind of had, it was kind of the East Coast baby boy thing. It was kind of weird though. It was so funny. I had that hat on, that New York hat.
Yeah.
And I was like, why you got this hat on? And the nigga said, because you the New York nigga. He's like, that makes you the New York nigga. I was like, I don't have an accent or nothing. He's like, yeah, whatever, nigga. Just keep the hat on. You keep the hat on and you'll be the New York dude. But yeah, it was a great film, man. We had fun, man. He know.
Yeah, he had mentioned it on they show. It is what it is. He said the same thing about you. And you just
did he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, you need to check it out. But hey, we are Bad Speakers TV. It's your boy Shad, man.
Cool boy G.
Omar Gooding.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you.